So first of all, thank you very much, Babajit. Today you are on the screen with me, and since years I've been watching you. So for me, it's a kind of fan moment.
Pleasure
So
is all mine.
yeah, so I first of all, I want to know from you, like when you initiated into astrology as a student. We are in a journey where we are always student. We keep on learning and upgrading ourselves. It's a Vedic Gyan. There is no limit. So when you first interacted into astrology, what circumstances make you jump into astrology? Like what kind of answers you've been searching into astrology or something which triggered you? What was your age and how come you started your journey?
Mhm.
What were the challenges that you faced? I mean, like the advices that you would like to give yourself 10 years back that
Mhm.
these were the things जो मैं नहीं करता तो शायद और बेहतर एस्ट्रोलॉजर हो सकता था या मैं शायद थोड़ा स्मूथली और सीख पाता.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be on your channel and interact with you for the first time. And thank you for watching my videos also. It's a great pleasure to know that. So my journey with astrology starts in the previous century, in the late end of the previous century. In the late 90s, it was around 99 or 2000, 2001, that time. It's like beginning of the this current century. So when I was small, I was in my home in Assam, Guwahati. I had a book. Basically, it was a very fancy book, and it was definitely not from India. Maybe it was from some other foreign country. So, the book was very fancy, and there was, all these description of planets. It was a book on astronomy. There was zero astrology there. There's no information.
Hmm.
But there was all this information, oh yeah, like we are in this planet called Earth, and thousands of miles, there's this another planet, it's called what is that? Oh, it's called Jupiter.
Jupiter.
And then there's another one, Saturn. I was like, wow, they look majestic, but and then Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, so all this information. Jupiter has these many moons, this is there, that is there, this planet is nearest, closest, all the generic information was there. And then when I was reading that book, suddenly I was reading it like day and night.
Hmm.
It was so interesting because I was like, why was it interesting? Although it did not make any sense to me, but I was like, these are really big entities out there. But my problem was I was not aware what exactly they are doing or why they are existing in the first place. I had no idea. So then I thought maybe yeah, they are somebody, like we are there, they are also there, and they don't have much, and it's okay, they are there or they are not there. It doesn't matter. Like doesn't make a difference.
What was your age by the time?
I can't say exactly. Maybe I was like 8, 9 around that time, like less than 10, I would say.
So you
Maybe
picked
8,
up the
9.
science book.
Sorry?
You picked up the science book. The first book that you picked up was the science book,
Yeah, yeah, it
astronomy.
was. Yeah, it was like somebody gifted to us, to my father, I guess, that book. And then I was reading, but nothing made sense to me, although I understood everything in the book. But then gradually I started seeing, that more there is, astrology also. And astrology is like it tells you what these big entities are doing in your life, right? And that was a bit more interesting for me because as much as you learn, how much far Jupiter is from the Earth, or how big Saturn is, how many Earths can fit Saturn, it makes no sense to you. I mean, it's an irrelevant piece of information. Now, if you are a scientist and you want to do research, that is different. But
Hmm.
for any normal person, why should I be bothered, right? How big Jupiter is, how does not knowing it create trouble for me? It's not of much use for a normal person. But then when I learned astrology slowly, then I felt, wow, this is relevant for every human being.
So
This
here,
is
like
incredible.
astronomy plays an important part. It is must for people to know astronomy before getting astrology or predictive astrology.
Yeah, it is like most of the people in today's world, they know astronomy some bit. There are, planets, there are 9 planets, 10 planets, depending on the nomenclature and all this. You take Pluto or you don't, 11, 12, whatever. So then that is how they get interested into astrology. And in the West, there is this, thing about if you are somewhere, they will ask, hey, what's your sign? Something like that. In India, it's totally different. It's like, the biggest marketer of astrology is Manglik.
Manglik and Kal Sarpdosh.
Yes, Manglik, Kalsar
Kal
Dosh,
Sarpdosh. Pitru Dosh.
Pitra Dosh. Yes, yes, yes. It is.
So
These
these are
three
the
are
big
the,
terms.
yes, they,
एट
they are the
वो
best.
बहुत सारी पूजाएं इन्हीं पे चल रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों के दुकानें चल रही हैं इन पे.
Correct. So then gradually I was like learning more 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
हम्म.
And then 2010 I went to Chennai to SRM University for my bachelor's. So that time when I went, I was in South India, Chennai, 50 kilometers away from Chennai. So there I met a lot of spiritual gurus and lot of traditions, many different sampradayas, and I got a lot of spiritual knowledge by the grace of God. And there I understood more about the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. And then I could understand, because till 2010 my knowledge was like, okay, this is astrology, and these are planets, this planet in this house, blah blah blah. This is what happens. But it was very localized and it was very subjective, I would say, and it was in a way that would was a bit fatalistic, like, okay, this planet is there, this will happen, there's nothing else you can do. But then later on from 2010, when I understood law of karma more, I understood what Sri Krishna says about the yoga ladders. Then, yes, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, yesterday we celebrated Ram Navami, of course. So then when we do all this, then everything fits perfectly. Like, for example, people ask a question. Yeah, maybe as an astrologer, you have also got this question or you have seen this somewhere. Like, for example, people ask, okay, I have a bad seventh house. Or suppose, by all factors of astrology, my marriage is supposed to be bad.
हम्म.
So then, should I marry or should I not marry?
Yes, a lot
Yes.
time. Today only, like I've got this consultation regarding marriage. This lady is 40 years old and still thinking whether she should get married or not. She got like
Okay.
Sun, Mercury, and Ketu, Scorpio in seventh house.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Saturn and Libra, sixth house.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
It's
that's the thing. When you get such questions, imagine you are just knowing astrology. You cannot answer it. You can, as an astrologer, you can answer, oh, yeah, you can get married in this dasha. Maybe your spouse is like this, like that. Maybe your marriage will run for, X number of years, or maybe, there is trouble ahead, or whatever. But you cannot answer that philosophical question. But if you read the Ramayana, then you can answer this question, because the Ramayana says like that your duty has to be done irrespective of destiny. Like, for example, when Ravan kidnapped Sita Devi, what did Lord Ram say? Sri Ram did not say what to do, my planets are not supporting me. My planets are bad, Lakshman, don't worry, just chill, man. It's okay. The next Dasha is gonna bring my wife back. Because
yeah,
see, if she's there in my destiny, she's supposed to come, right? So he did
what
not give
she's
all
doing
this.
there.
Yeah, he did not give such, fancy statements which people give these days sometimes. He said, no, as a husband, it is my duty to go and fight, and whatever is there in my destiny. Duty and destiny should not be mixed. Whatever is my duty, like I am a student, my duty is to study. So I should study. Now, I may fail in the exam.
Correct.
I may get 10 on 10, I may get 100 out of 100, I may become first in my whole district, the chief minister can felicitate me, or I may get some average marks, but I should study. Because, and then Bhagavad Gita comes, which is part of the Mahabharata, where Krishna says, Sri Ram says, do your duty. Whatever is there in destiny, don't worry. And then Krishna goes one next level. Krishna says,
Don't expect.
yes, do your duty, but I will decide what you should get and
uh,
when. So unless you know the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, which is part of the Mahabharata, yeah, you can be great as a predictive astrologer, but you cannot help the client. It is not possible.
True.
So then I started reading Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, these four books primarily, more and more and more, and then I could really actually understand, what is this, what's this all about? There is a concept of next life, previous lifetimes, and ultimately, what is astrology? It is a study of our previous lifetimes, right? It is a
Correct. The previous karmas and casting, I mean, mapping what things can happen. You cannot actually predict the complete truth, what is going to happen. You
correct,
just map it. You can assume, ki, yes, this can happen with the stat because this could be the karma which you have
correct,
done in
correct.
previous lives.
Correct. So when you know the overall picture, then there are the Vedas, there are Upanishads, there are Sutras, Yantra, Mudra, Tantra, Mantra, and then there is Jyotish. So therefore, it is recommended that anybody who is wanting to get into astrology and especially wanting to help people at a professional level, then the person should be aware of the teachings of the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam. Like, because the reason is all of these scriptures start with a definitive question, which is very relevant to astrology.
Correct.
For example, how does the Ramayana start? The Ramayana starts with a fundamental question, that how should be an ideal human being? This is a question asked by Valmiki Muni to Brahmaji, Brahmaji, the
Hmm.
creator of the material universe. So then the thing comes, that ideal human being should be like Sri Ram. Of course, Sri Ram is not a human being. He's Vishnu himself. He's Narayan himself. But he comes and he acts as if he's like a human being to give lessons. And that is why, if you read the Ramayana, there is always a tug of war going on between two aspects. One tug of war is to show he's supreme, he's God himself, and the other tug of war is no, he's just a normal person. Because the problem is, Acharyas explain, if you paint Sri Ram too much as God in the Ramayana, which he is undoubtedly, but if you paint that aspect too much in the Valmiki, then humans have an excuse. Oh, he's God, he can do it, so what? But we can't do it, right? God can do anything, but we are not God. And then on the other extreme, if you show, no, no, he's not God, he's just an ordinary person, then you take him cheaply. Oh, what's so special? He's just like one of us. So this balance is there. Sometimes like he when he's sitting in the bank of the river, this in Dhanushkodi, and he's not river, sorry, ocean, Indian Ocean,
Hmm.
and he's praying to the ocean that please give us the way. Hmm? So he's taking a humanly approach. He's taking a humanly approach. He's trying and praying, like he's praying to the Samudra, they please give me the way, give me like this, 3 days he's praying. And he does everything which a normal human being should do. But then when Samudra Dev does not give the way, he becomes angry. He picks up his bow and he says, you give it to
Now
me, or else
fight back
I
with
will
me.
burn you completely down. And then Samudradev comes out and he says, "Oh, I'm very
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
my mistakes. You told that you will follow all human norms and all. So I was treating you like a human." Then he said, "Okay, okay, that's enough. Now give us the way." And of course, they built the bridge and they went. So if you get to know the stories and the Bhagavad Gita, especially yoga ladder, how who should do what, like nowadays people are so confused and they come to astrologers, but their confusion cannot be resolved only using astrology. Like, for example, the Bhagavad Gita talks of, like different varnas and different ashrams, right? Like, like there is brahmachari ashram, there is grihastha ashram, there is vanaprastha, then there is sannyas, depending on your age. And then there is Brahmin, Vaishya, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya,
Different
Shudra,
words,
is like
words.
the
Yeah.
different Varnas, what you should do. And it's very interesting. The Varna will show more of your, profession, and the ashram will show your marital status
Approach.
primarily.
Hmm.
And who indicates career? It is primarily Mercury, and Venus indicates your marital life. In general, I mean, not like literally just Venus.
Hmm.
And most 99% of the questions in astrology are when will I get a job or better money?
Profession and marriage, correct.
Yes, or when will I get married, love, whatever. So then, if we are not aware of what should be a person's duty as per the principles of the Bhagavad Gita, then again, as I said, at best we can be a predictive astrologer, and that ultimately makes no sense because that was anyways going to happen. Even if he would have not come to you, suppose you are a perfect predictive astrologer, you predict 100%. But what's the use? That would have anyways happened in that person's life, right? So it is like the person wasted his her money to come to you, and you just told him something which he or she would have already known eventually.
What extra you are guiding the person? That's because that becomes important to push the person towards the right karma.
Correct, correct. So yeah, that is what I believe. Like along with predictive astrology, whatever you study, Parashari, Nadi, Jaimini, KP, these, that. I mean, at the end, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So if somebody is talking of predictive astrology, then no matter which science you follow, what you use, at the end, you will be judged by your predictions. If your predictions are correct, you have learned it right. And if your predictions are not correct, that means either you learned it wrong or you have learned from the wrong source. It could be either ways, or mostly it can be both. You are at the wrong place and you also learned it the wrong way. So
Wrong
it's
way.
a double disaster, okay? So yes, predictive astrology is very important because most 99% of people will judge you by your predictions. They will not care, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita and all this. Of course, it's great to know, but at an external level, people will judge you by your predictions. But when you are giving a one-on-one consultation along with predictive astrology, you should also give the basic philosophies and help the person based on their own dharma, which is there in the horoscope. Like, let me give you a very small example. There was one person who came to consult me in New Delhi some time back, and he came and said, sir, I am doing this job, when I'll get a promotion. He was asking all the standard questions which, astrologers get, when I'll buy home, this, that. So what happened? 15 minutes after the consultation, I paused and I said, my dear sir, sorry to say, but you are wasting your life. You are completely wasting every second minute, not of this consultation, but of your whole life. So then he was shocked. Why did I say this? So then I said, because your chart shows you should do something completely different and you actually have the potential. And I know now you're not doing it because of whatever reason, parents, society, children, husband, wife, whatever, all complications, but you're not happy inside. So now you want me to tell you when you will get some more money, 10-20% increment in your job so that you think your misery will reduce, but no, it will not reduce. So I said, do something of your own. Your chart shows, you can be good as a leader. You can have your own following, your own community. So do something in YouTube, do freelancing, and do all this. Now I said that does not mean you go and submit your resignation tomorrow. You have your family to feed, and that's your responsibility. But do something in the weekend, do something in YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever, and then gradually after 2-3 years, try to build a business around that community, and then you can leave your job if you wish. And then he was very happy because he said, this is something which I always wanted to do, but I did not do because of hesitation or, like lok lajja, what
Yes.
people say, na, lok kya kahenge.
Hmm.
So, but then he started off something, and now it's a few months, and he keeps sending me updates. I am doing this, I am doing that.
I have seen
So,
your statuses. When people share their updates, this is happening, that is happening.
thank you. So basically, we have to identify what is the primary nature of the chart. That is the best service you can do to somebody. Apart from giving some reasonable good predictions, of course. Like for example, we have to identify, is the person a good Brahmana or a good Kshatriya or a good Vaishya or a good Shudra? Very important. A good Brahmana means the person can read, knowledge, can gain knowledge, can share knowledge, likes to read, likes to gain knowledge, material or spiritual. That is another thing, but knowledge is important. Then the person is like reasonably simple, and likes to give donations, is not too much money minded, and likes to do good things in society, is very self sense controlled, is preferably a vegetarian, likes to do good work. So then that you identify, and from that this person is a brahmana by
By
mental.
their way of living, their approach towards life.
Correct. The person can be anybody, does not have to be Bharadwaj or some Brahmin caste or whatever. The person can be sitting in, Santorini, Greece, and that person
Uh,
could be a Brahmin. Okay. Then we have the Kshatriyas, Kshatriyas, sun, then we have Mars, and, they can, like, 10th house, 9th house, 11th house, very powerful positions. They can go to politics, they can change society. Or maybe you are a Vaishya, you are good as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, or you are good as a Shudra. Shudra means you don't know what to do in life, which is okay, nothing wrong with it. So you help somebody who already has a vision. Either you help a Brahmin or a Vaishya or a Kshatriya. Okay. So
correct.
either you help a Brahmin, which means you are like their assistant, or you help a businessman, because then they will pay you salary, or you help some Kshatriya, you help some, like, politician or somebody, and then they will give you some money. So Shudra will always live on salary basically, which is perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. So once like, because most of the people today, they are living a Shudra life because most of the people are employees.
Yes,
But
very true.
then when I see their chart that you have potential to become a Vaishya, then I say that, okay, why don't you try entrepreneurship? That can work. If it doesn't work, you come back to job again. Or if I see the person can do good in politics or, some government services, then I say that you can go there. Or if I see, no, you should be in the research sector, education sector, then that is good for you. So then I recommend there. So by that, what happens? The person's job is not just a job, I mean, for God's sake, it is like, consuming 12 hours of our life daily. If you take the travel into account in India, especially, so, and we are awake for around 17 hours on an average.
Hmm.
If you sleep for around 7 hours, average 6 to 8 hours, so 17 hours we are awake. And out of that 12 hours, you are doing something which makes you totally unhappy and miserable just because you are getting some money. So that is the greatest injustice. So this is what I do during my consultations. Whatever they ask me, I will answer. And then if I see they are doing something which makes them happy, I tell them you are wasting your time.
Which is the best thing I'll say that that you do in the consultations. So, like,
Yeah.
going ahead with the same question, like the answer that you have given for consultations. So, you look at any specific planetary alignments in the chart, or like the nakshatras. What exactly you focus, and by what placement you check whether the chart is good for the Kshatriya one or for the Brahmin one? What kind of work? And what is your
Very good.
approach?
Very, very good question you have asked. That's fundamental. So the first answer is we don't look at the chart. We look at only the date of birth.
Person, date of birth. Okay.
Okay. So we look at the numerology first. So in numerology, there are numbers which represent planets. Like one is the sun, like two is moon, three is Jupiter, four is Rahu, five is Mercury, then six is Venus, seven Ketu, then eight Saturn, and nine is Mars. So now here we have different combinations. For example, if you see the Brahmana numbers, then they are 3, 7, and 9.
Hmm.
So you will always,
Jupiter,
always,
Ketu, and
always,
Mars.
always, you will find
Hmm.
people who are very well known in the spiritual community, or in some occult or whatever. They will always have at least two of these numbers. Like they will have 3 7 or 3 9 or 7 9, or they may have all the three also.
Hmm.
Or their
So, in the
basic
complete
number.
date of birth, you are saying, or just this what we call Mulank and Bhagyank?
Yeah, yeah, I'll come to that. So,
Ah.
so when you calculate that, what you do is, first you see the individual numbers.
Hmm.
In the individual numbers, the first two digits of the year we don't consider, because almost everybody we know, most of the people are born in 1900.
Hmm.
So everybody will have 1 and 9. So that we don't consider. Okay. So we take all the other numbers. Like somebody is born on 23rd, whatever, April 1956, something like that. So
Hmm.
we take 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. So
Okay,
1956.
last two digits of year
Yeah.
and
And
the
the
initial month and
day
date.
and day and the month. So
Hmm.
these are the individual numbers. Then we take another number into consideration, which is the basic number, which is the Mulang basically, which is your like sum of the day basically. So
Hmm.
so if you are born on, like, for example, 12th, your basic number is 3.
Three.
No, you are born on 30th, then also basic is 3, something
Three.
like that.
Hmm.
And finally, the most important number is the Bhagyank, which is known as destiny number also, where we take the sum of the entire date of birth, including the
Hmm.
first two digits of the year. So whatever is your date of birth, include everything, first two digits of the everything, just add your date of birth simply, and that's it. So
Hmm.
you will always, always, always see that people who are doing something spiritual or astrology or whatever, some kind of higher thing, they will always have 3 7 and 9. Now within this they may have two, they may have all the three, or they may have only one of them, but one of that one number will be their basic number or destiny number. Always you
Okay.
find this. Okay. Like you take any example, like Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, destiny 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pandit Sanjay Rath, destiny 7.
Okay. So Ketu prominent, Ketu driven.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, Destiny 7.
Wow.
You take
And
any
like
example.
what we call like this master number.
What is that?
This is that, is it like the 2211
No, this is destiny number is the Bhagyank, sum of the whole date of birth.
okay, okay.
Okay, so it can be like you are born in March and your destiny number is 9. So you have
Hmm.
3 and 9, or you are born in July, your destiny number is 3, or you may have all the three. You just take any this is like open. You can search any spiritual guru, any ashram, you will find. So if 3 7 and 9 are there, and adding on top like Sone Pe Suhaga, if your destiny number also is either 3 7 or 9, then that is like you can stamp it. It is
Stamp
like
की spirituality में जाएगा person.
spirituality में जाएगा, या or the person will become like some kind of
Spiritual guru,
spiritual guru, or the person will be related to some studies. Now that
advisory profiles, job profiles. Like,
and
even if like he's working into
yeah,
any
yeah,
organization, then
correct.
something related to guiding others, training others.
Correct, correct. Now this is interesting. Now with this 379, if you have the number 1,
Okay.
then the person can become founder of a religious or spiritual institution.
Oh, okay.
Like Srila Prabhupada, for example.
Huh?
If his destiny number is 1 and he also has destiny number is 7 and he has another 1 in his date of birth. So he's founder Acharya of ISKCON. And you can take, like, you can Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, again, founder of Isha Foundation, like 1 and 7 is there. 7 is also his destiny number. So it's very similar to Srila Prabhupada. Now, but if 1 is not there, the person will do things, but may not be like, having to wanting to have a organization and, all these
So
things. Okay.
leadership qualities will be missing.
I won't say missing, but the person won't be very interested. Okay.
Mm, okay. Makes
Okay.
sense. Hmm.
And the person may have also. Just because they don't have one, it does not mean they will not become head of an
So it's
institution.
like it will not excite them.
Yeah, yeah, they will be like, okay, if it is there, not there is fine. I'm not bothered with it. But if one is there, the person will be like, no, I need to have my system structure because one is the king. It is the sun.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the sun wants a territory, and in territory there are rules, there are regulations. Okay, so that is how it will be. So that will show you are. So if you have 379, you will be more of like a Brahmana. And if you have one, then you will also have some Kshatriya traits. So you will want some control and some leadership and all this will be there. Now, suppose somebody does not have this, or or they only have three or seven or nine. So then they will also be reading or doing something spiritual, but it may not be like too prominent in their life. It will still be there. Now,
Hmm.
on the other side, if you have for Kshatriyas, if you
Hmm.
have one, you have number nine, you have number seven, then these three numbers, or you have the number eight in even, like 8 8 or 8 8 8 8, something like this. For example, somebody born on 8th August 19,
88.
yeah, 8th August 1988. So
Uh,
if the number 8 is in events, or number 7 is there, or 1 and 9, 1 and 9 primary numbers for Kshatriya, 1 and 9, Sun and Mars, then the person can go into politics, can do excellent. Like prime example, Prime Minister Modi, he has 1 and 9 and 7, he has all the three. Then Home Minister Amit Shah, he has 1 and he has number 7. Then Rahul Gandhi also has 1 and 7 and 9. So you can see charts of politicians, you will find these three numbers, 1, 7 and 9. Or you will also find double eight or quadruple eight. You will find this always. And then and yes, I forgot one number. Number two, it is the number of the moon, of course. So that's the queen. So 1, 2, 9, and 7, and even 8. So if they have these numbers, you will always, so you take chart of all Indian prime ministers, all
hmm.
the Indian prime ministers till now, I think except one or two, everybody has, they will always have, this one, two, and they will have seven or nine, 1 9, 1 7, 1 2, 2 9, something of all the others. Or one will always be there. You take any prime minister chart, it will be there. There's only one prime minister who does not have one, and that is late Dr. Manmohan Singh ji. But we will keep that aside for now. But yeah, apart from him, everybody had that. So that is how somebody has Kshatriya traits, one's domination, control, and that should be utilized in a good way. And then you come to astrology. So for Kshatriya, if they have these numbers, and then on the other hand, they also have numbers in the horoscope.
Like
Their sun is,
6, 3, 2.
yeah, sun is very prominent, Mars is very prominent, sun dasha, Mars dasha, moon is very prominent, 10th house is very prominent, Lagna is very prominent, 11th house is very prominent, ninth house. So 1 9 10 11, these four houses, if they are prominent, and in their date of birth they have 1 7 9 2, double eight, quadruple eight, then the person will be into politics. Now the person may become a MLA, MP, cabinet minister, prime minister, president. That will depend on the level of the chart.
Hmm.
But the person will be into politics. So this is done and dusted. Then next we have the Vaishyas. So for Vaishya, your primary number is number five in numerology, because that's the number of money. Five
Mercury.
five means salesman. Okay,
Uh,
more the five, more the sales. Okay, because five is money. So whoever has five or destiny five or basic five, they can bring money basically. So along with five, if you have nine or seven, these are enhancers. Nine is Mars, so nine will enhance the power of Mercury. And if you have seven, seven is the number of luck, that will enhance your capacity. Along with that, if you have, like even eight, like double eight, quadruple eight, and you also have six, because six is the number of luxury here, then you can do excellent in luxury, or you can do excellent in any kind of business. Five primarily. So if you have six, seven, and five, or you have nine, five, seven, five, like that, you take the chart of any famous Bollywood celebrity, they will always have these three numbers. They will have six, seven, and five. You take Shah Rukh Khan, he has it. Salman Khan has it. Then Vicky Kaushal has it. Shilpa,
Influencers you are talking about, the one who is
not
influencing
influencers,
masses?
like entrepreneurs, like who can
Hmm.
like sell a lot, or like sell a product or sell themselves. Okay, either ways,
Uh-huh.
they're selling something, right? And you see, big, and for real estate, if somebody is into real estate, they will need the number one, or they need even eights, like Niranjan Hiranandani. He is like
Hmm.
he's a billionaire. Hiranandani Estates, right? So he has the number eight even number of times. And you take any example who is good at any person who is very good at finances, they will always have 9 and 5. Like for example, Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh has 9 and 5. Then Dr. Shashi Tharoor, he has 9 and 5. Then Prime Minister Modi has this. Dr. S Jaishankar has this. So if you see, 9 and 5 will give you tremendous ability of like articulation. Like for example, S Jaishankar, very well in articulation. He's great at answering to any foreign country who is trying to spread misinformation. Then we have Dr. Shashi Tharoor, of course. He needs no introduction. So so by that, what will happen. So more the number 5 is involved, more the person can be good as a Vaishya. And then in astrology, Mercury should be strong. The 10th house should be strong. Seventh house, if is strong, then the person will do business. If sixth house is strong, the person will be very competitive. And 11th house, of course, it's the most important house for any. It is a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, doesn't matter. And then, of course, we have at the end, we have the Shudra class. So for Shudras, you might have all the Asura numbers to some extent. Like Asura numbers are like 6, 5, 8, and 4. So if you have these numbers repeating quite a bit, then you may want, like, 5 will give you some ability to earn money, 6 will give you ability to spend it in a luxurious way, 4 is like a bit of spendthrift, and 8 is like can be a bit of headless, if 8 is even odd 8, like single or triple. So if the person does not have, like 3, 1, 9, 7, and just has all these numbers like 6, 5, 8, 4, then primarily they are these are Asura numbers, because these numbers are ruled by the Asura group. Like 6 is Venus. So Asuras are like Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. So here, so for Mercury, Venus, it is 5 and 6. Saturn is odd number of eights, 8 or triple eight, something like that. And Rahu is the classic number 4. And for Ketu, we will take multiple 7. So if 7 is like single, then it is a Sura number. And if it
Hmm.
is multiple, like 7 July 1977, it's like multiple 7. That belongs to the Asura group, basically. So if you have these numbers, 6, 5, 8, 4, and multiple 7 along with it, then we say yes, you can sometimes try entrepreneurship, sometimes business and all this. But at the end, they are like, no, no, we don't know much what to, like. We are just bothered about money. Tell us where you'll get money from.
Hmm.
Today we may do job, or tomorrow we may do entrepreneurship. So for them, it doesn't matter. So we suggest them, you better be an employee. You look for a good paying job, and then depending on the strength of their chart, you can tell them, okay, this dasha you will have rise, this dasha you can be careful, don't take too many loans, you will have a tough time. Or this dasha, if it's really bad, you may lose your job, so have some savings on the side. So then we tell them that you don't have any goal of life. Your goal of life is simply materialistic enjoyment, which is also not like anything bad, unless it is like something which is prohibited in the scriptures. So person says, I want to have nice money, I want to buy a nice home, nice car, I want to have one wife, two kids, very happy, no problem with it. Okay. But now if the person says, no, I have one wife, I want two other girlfriends, then you have to want. This is, you are creating Ugra karma, that will be dangerous.
Yeah.
Then that is the Shudra group. They are like, we are happy. And for Brahmana group, I forgot to say, for astrology, for that, you need a very strong Lagna, very strong Jupiter, very strong Mercury, primarily Jupiter, and very strong trines, fifth and ninth. Fifth Lord, ninth Lord, these are very strong, these are very well placed. And in numerology, of course, 3, 7, 9. But the problem is, you will not get these black and white combinations. That is the problem. That's, I would say, that is the main challenge. You will find numbers like somebody has 31975. Okay. So now what is happening? The person has 379. So the person can go into spirituality, but the person also has 197. So the person will also become Kshatriya.
So
But the point,
leadership, like leading a group, a spiritual group, and doing a business side by side, because five
yeah,
is also there.
yeah, and the person also have 975. So it's like bizarre. Oh, you will be a acharya, you will be a MLA, you will be also studying. So this, so
So
then
master of all trades.
yeah, then depending on, so now suppose somebody has this, 31975, Brahmin, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. All the three traits are there. Now you go to the chart and see what is
Whether
going
those
on.
planets, like the Varna system, the way it is divided to the
Yeah, so
planets,
now along with this date of birth, which is indicating all the three Varnas, if in their chart Sun, Mars is powerful, then he will say, no, no, education and money is fine, but I want power. So he will become politician. Okay. But if Mercury is very strong, you say, what is this? Power and all this is useless. Knowledge is also fine, but at the end, it's all about money, right? So I need money. And if Jupiter is very strong, fifth lord, ninth lord, he will say, okay, power is good. I need it. I want it. Money also is not bad. But main is spiritual realization.
knowledge.
So he will do that most. So you have to combine all this, and always, there will be Dusthana houses, there will be retrograde planets, exalted, debilitated, all these things will be there. Then there are the divisional charts. So at the end, we come to a final output. This is, so then at the end, how it works is, this is your primary. Like, you are primarily a Brahmin. Okay. And then on the other side, you will have all these, Kshatriya traits, if
So
you
we all
join.
have like those five elements in a body, and all
Yes.
this Vak Pitta Kapha. It's about the s- which is on the higher side,
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
which is on the higher side.
Correct,
That's
correct,
that's how we can say the no one can be complete Brahmin, no one can be complete Kshatriya.
correct,
We
correct,
all
correct,
are combination of all the elements. Sare
correct,
gun,
correct.
what we call like there's a word, emotions, ras. We we all are having different rasa in different stages
Yes,
of life.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
which
yes.
ras is
Correct.
prominent in you, that you can figure out with the
Ah,
help of date of
ah,
birth.
correct, correct, correct. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we like figure out. And at times what happens is they are not giving us answers. Like numerology and astrology, you combine and you are not getting answers. Like classic case of twins, you don't get answers. Same
Hmm.
dasha, same planet, same date of birth, you know, like almost the same, and it's bizarre. I mean, you can't predict, and people will always ask this. The skeptics will ask, "What about twins? What about twins? How will you distinguish twins?" So then the answer is you cannot distinguish from astrology and numerology. You can, but it's very difficult. So then God has given us something else, which is this palmistry. This
Good.
will never lie because two twins
Uh,
born by like 2-3 minutes apart,
uh,
they will have completely different power,
different hands.
completely different. And that is why, that is how, where you will know. Like, for example, palmistry is very, very, very important. Like, for example, I had a client long time back. I told him one thing, that in 2018, something happened in your life which totally devastated you, and you lost everything in that. Something happened. He said, yes, you are right. Absolutely. He had a divorce and he had a net worth of around 1 CR, and the wife took everything.
Aluminum.
Yeah, alimony, court case, and all. He said, I
Uh,
was literally on the streets, and he's son of a very rich, very affluent person.
hmm.
The amount of net worth a normal middle class person accumulates by the time he or she is 60, that much EMI this person's father pays monthly. Okay, so you can assume what is their net worth, whatever. So then he asked me, he's curious to know how did I say this. So then I saw there was some problem in his astrology, in his chart. And he said, "Oh, I understand. My eighth house was active and 12th house was going on. That is why you said, right? I was devastated." I said, "No, that's not the reason. This is there." But what happened is when he was 28, then from his this is the mount of Mars,
Uh,
lower Mars. There was one line which came like this. This is the lifeline. This
uh,
is the headline. This is the headline. This is lifeline, and this is the heart line.
yeah.
So at the age of 28, around 28, the line came and it ripped apart all these three lines.
Okay.
All the three lines. And that is disaster. It means you are devastated. It has breached your lifeline, which means that it has wrecked you of your money. Then it has wrecked your heart headline. This line, it's the line of head.
Hmm.
That that has made you crazy. दिमाग खराब हो गया, पागल हो गया हो.
Hmm.
Then your line of heart, you are devastated. You feel like dying. You don't feel love anymore. You are finished. Okay. So if one line comes and kills all the three lines, it finishes you completely. But now suppose this only ripped your lifeline. Then
Hmm.
what will happen? You will lose your job. 6 months, no money. But everything else is fine. My intellect line is not touched. So I'm doing interviews and I get a new job in 3 months.
Good.
Oh, yeah, no, it has touched these two lines, but it has not touched my heart line. So what is happening? I'm jobless for 5 years, but
Actually,
family
but
is
you'll
there.
not lose your hope in that case.
Yeah, you are like life is still there. I can live. My husband is there, my wife is there, I have children, somebody other. But imagine your home, your head, your heart, all the three are pierced by the lower Mars. That's it. That's the end of the story. Your life is finished, right? I mean, mentally you are almost like dead,
Hmm.
intellectually and physically, because your assets are gone. So then I told him that is how, because you sent me the photo of the palm, I could tell you that this was not just, a superficial eighth house thing. Oh, yeah, you will have some defamation, blah, 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 fine. You will be fired. No, you are almost near to death, basically, because in palmistry, it shows all the three lines are impacted. So then he realized, oh, palmistry is so important. So that is why, if you see, like, politicians, for example, you will see they will have an exceptionally long thumb. The thumb will be very long because the thumb indicates the power of the sun actually.
Hmm.
So if a person is born like, that sun in Libra period, okay,
Like
but
me.
okay, but if they have a very long thumb,
Ah.
then you can almost consider sun is not in Libra.
Oh, okay.
Not in Libra does not mean it is not in Libra, but it will
It's
not
not
give you
giving the
low,
effect
low
of complete
confidence,
abolition.
no low confidence, headlessness, no ambition. These things will not be there.
Makes sense. I can
And
relate to
on
it.
correct. And on the
Uh,
other hand, if
uh,
somebody has sun in Aries or sun in Leo,
and a small thumb.
yeah, small thumb, then the person will have confidence, but will be, a bit timid. Will be, what is this? He has exalted sun. Wow, how is he not speaking or talking? You are like bewildered. You don't know. Do you see here? Oh, his Lagna is strong, 10th house is strong, and he's in a very good position.
Hmm.
But you'll be like, oh, how is this person? It seems he's not too confident, but he's in a good position, 10th house and all this, sun exalted, he's leader and all this. But he will not become a politician because the thumb is very small.
Okay.
So that is how you will know what is the level. And another thing which is very important, this is number four, like astrology, numerology, palmistry, and number four, very, very important, the family you are born in. This is like this is gold.
Yeah.
Please do not ignore the family. Family means not just your family parents,
It's
but
like
your lineage.
okay. So how you're going to check the lineage in this part?
Yeah, this
Like
is
I
very
thought like you're talking about the place you're born, the society you are living in,
Yeah,
the kind of
like
environment.
I'll tell you what I mean by lineage. By lineage, I don't mean you have to check charts of your 10 grandfather, grandmothers. I'm not saying that.
Hmm.
But in general, what is your family associated with from many lifetimes, from generations? Sorry. I'll give you an example. Recently, I was in Rajasthan, and there I went to meet a family for a special visit. And this person uh, was one of the descendants of Maharana Pratap.
Okay.
Long, long, long descendants. Like, it's like it's huge. It's like the list is very long. I don't know the exact number, but he said, great, 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 great grandfather was Maharana Pratap. Okay. And this person told me, can you look at my son's horoscope? And he showed me the horoscope. And I saw the date of birth, I saw the horoscope. Everything looked super ordinary to me. Ordinary means not bad, but there was nothing like, oh wow, that's a great thing in the chart. There was no wow factor in the chart. And then I was seeing, I was, cross-checking. I asked, oh, is this birth time correct? Whatever, blah, 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 all this. Then he said, when he was born, I was noting it down personally. So I can't ask him again. Is it correct? So I said, okay, it's correct. Again checking and doing all the analysis, and it was not making sense. Like it looked like he will barely make the ends meet. His
Hmm.
son. And then I asked him, so what is your son doing? And then he said, yeah, he's manager in one of that, Taj hotels, which is there in Udaipur, Taj or some other hotel. He's like earning like, yeah, 4 or 5 lakhs a month or something like that. And then when he was telling this, his son came out of the bedroom, and he was like tall, 6'3", 6'4". He was handsome. He looked like a Gandharva basically. And his, hands were very long. He was like very well built, very commanding. And he just said, hello, namaste, like this. So then I understood that this person has the most ordinary chart that any person can have or ideally would not want to have. There was nothing special in his horoscope. But because he's born in this great lineage, that same ordinary chart is so damn powerful. It is a million times more powerful than maybe a MLA or a MP of India because that blood is there.
Correct.
And
Ancestors karmas. I mean, he's going to get blessing from ancestors
yes,
karmas here.
yes. So that also cannot be ignored. So therefore, people always talk, oh, I have this placement in the chart. Why is it not working? Well, then I asked, have you checked the numerology? Have you
Yeah.
checked your palmistry? Have you checked your lineage? So then that is why it is very important to have a face-to-face consultation with an astrologer, because of course
Mm.
sometimes people have these services like, okay, you can ask me a question and I can answer. I don't offer that service in my website because the problem is I don't know. Like, a person is asking me, oh, will I become IS officer?
Mm.
Of course I have their date of birth, I have their chart, I have astrology, numerology, but I don't have the palmistry. I don't know what is the strength of the Jupiter finger and the sun finger. I don't know. Then I don't know what is there in the lineage. No, what is there in the blood, I don't know. So when I don't know, how can I tell you yes or no, right? Even if I say yes or no, I will say it with a catch.
Mm.
With astrology and numerology combined, it shows you may become an IS officer in this dasha. These planets are good, powerful, all this. But since I have not met you personally, I don't know much about your life. I have not seen your palm and all this. So this is not a guaranteed, I mean, this is not like a full prediction. But if I just see your date of birth in the chart, it looks like you will become or you will not become one. But again, now imagine this same person would have come to me with his chart. My answer would be direct no. Hey, are you crazy? You want to become an IS officer with this chart? Impossible. But it looks like if he writes the exam tomorrow, he will get top 10 rank by seeing his personality. And by the level of knowledge he has, he knows every state in India, what is going on. He knows all the laws. And then I was wondering, what the hell are you doing in Taj hotels? You should be in the government.
Hmm.
So the thing is, but the blood is there, that DNA. Maharana Pratap, that is there. India's greatest warrior, that is there. So that itself is so powerful. That DNA, we miss it always. Like science also keeps saying, right? DNA, genes, this, that. But we astrologers totally ignore it. अरे हुआ जिधर पैदा हुआ अपने लोग को उंगली से
हमें
लगा दो.
पता ही नहीं
तो
है. And
देखो
what
सन
about
टेंथ
like people who don't know about the lineage?
No, lineage again, as I said, you should have some basic idea. Like the one thing you must know from your lineage, which Varna your ancestors were in.
Hmm.
Like, they were Brahmins, Brahmins, not by caste, but like
By the work and the profile.
by the work.
Varna.
Or also by the caste, sometimes they also like do
Hmm.
work or either ways. Or your Vaishyas. Like if you see I was seeing a statistics around 80 or 90%. Maybe I'm wrong with the number, but it is like very high. 80-90% of the billionaires or millionaires or the richest people, they are from Gujarat.
Correct.
Now if you see Mukesh Ambani's chart, he has that, by default. He's born in Gujarat, that family, Dhirubhai Ambani's son. But if you go to his date of birth, you will see he also has 975. And on top of that, his destiny number is also 9. So he has 1975. So he has this 975, as I said. So now imagine, he would have come to an astrologer or me, like 50 years back, I was in some other lifetime and asked me, hey, will I become a businessman? I would have said, yes, you will be a very good businessman. You will earn in, millions, करोड़ों में कमाएंगे आप. But now, what that million became like, billions. How? Because of the blood.
Correct. Because
Because
the sanskar is carrying from the lineage.
yes, along with the sanskar, he's carrying all the systems and contacts. Dhirubhai Ambani, all contacts.
Hmm.
Knows all politicians, knows all bankers, knows all investors. One phone call, hey, I want this company, throw in money, done. So imagine the kick which he gets with these numbers from where he's already. So a
Hmm.
normal person who is, starting, with what is that entrepreneurship, is getting a kick from level zero. So for him or her, if they have all this, 975, good Mercury, long Mercury finger, they can be a multimillionaire at max. Like by the time they're 60, 65, they will have like, 20, 30, 40, 50 crores or at max 100, 200 crores maximum. Not impossible. But if you are born in that kind of family, you have like in Bania families,
Hmm.
since the time, if you ask a normal person, in my state, Assam or whatever, North India, by the time they are 30, they have no idea what is, rate of growth. They have no idea. Oh, acha, fixed deposit gives me 6%. Okay, what is this 6%? Oh, acha, if I put 100 rupees, it will become 106 rupees. They know mathematically in the school, but in practicality, they know it by the time 30 ये investing क्या होता है, ये 6% क्या होता है, they are like that. Oh, I will put in Nifty, 15% CAGR, all this, real estate 8%, or gold, CAGR 11% or whatever. But in the Bania families, since the time they are born, they're discussing, इसमें 2% मिलेगा, 3%, 4%, 5%. So that is there in their blood. So if that boy or girl born in that family has these numbers, they will do at least 100 times more than a normal person. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. So when astrologers are wondering why the predictions are not working or why the scale is not to that level, then maybe you have squeezed astrology enough. The answer is not there, it is somewhere else.
And what is like for the people who, I mean, like, let me just take my own example. I don't know palmistry. I learned numerology long back, but I don't use it much. But like when it comes to predictions, and I'll say it is up to mark, up to like 90% accuracy. It goes up to above that. So
Very
here, is it just a predictive part, or do you really think like a person need to know these 4 5 things? I mean, obviously it will be the value add when you are doing prediction if you know other things. But if somebody who don't know, so in that case, what you're going to suggest? Can
so
be
the thing.
they can they be a good astrologer? This is a very common question that people come to me and ask. And before starting with any course or before starting learning, uh, can I be a very good astrologer? Or is there any yoga to become an astrologer? So here, like, what is the suggestion or guidance, or like, if the same question will come to you, how you are going to approach this question when looking at the chart or looking at the person? I mean, one thing what I have throughout the conversation found, like, person one should be there. I mean, the one should be inclined towards that particular topic, that
Yes,
Brahmin one that we were talking about. From the
yes.
date of birth, let's see. Like, I mean, it's very easy to find when you are aware about these numbers. You can easily check your date of birth and can find, like, self-explanatory. When it comes to chart, easily if you are going to suggest somebody, so are we going to look into dasha part or are we going to look into chart part? So what is your call here if someone is not aware about the palmistry part and numerology part? Can the
Yeah.
person be a good astrologer?
So, if I mean to become astrologer, I mean again, it is the same rule with every profession or every
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
Now it is like, make the best use of a bad bargain, as we say, right? Like, for example, if you know the chart, you already know the date of birth. So now the thing is, if in the person, somebody is asking, can I become an astrologer? If the person only has 379, then the person will be a great astrologer, but will be more focused in research and knowledge and teaching and all this.
Hmm.
But along with that, the person has one. So the person will want a, company, organization, and like it will be like a cult following. Okay. Hey, all of you, you must only watch my videos, otherwise you're fired. Something like that.
Okay.
Then along with that, if the person has five, then the person will be too much into money and will be, selling nonsense remedies. Like any astrologer you will see who has too many fives in their date of birth may, have a lot of following or
Okay, so
but
let me give my date of birth. It's 26th October 1991.
okay. Now the thing is, if five is there,
Uh,
then the person may run too much behind money.
okay, so into
So,
business
so
trading part.
Jyotish will be there, but money will be more important. And if six is there along with that, then the person may be into gemstones and all this, to some extent. But along with six, if five is also there, the person will open like, gemstone company or whatever, all this, along with their astrology thing, they will sell gemstones or they will get commission or all this, So, so this is how it will be. Then you go to astrology. Then if you go to astrology, then very, very, very important, because this is primarily a Brahmana Varna job, the work itself, not job, sorry. So then you have to see the strength of Jupiter in the chart.
Hmm.
Then you have to check the strength of the planets Sun and Mars, because Sun and Mars, that's light, that's Jyotish. So Sun and Mars will give you l- power to predict. It will give you the confidence to predict.
Hmm.
Predict,
Confidence, correct.
oh, this will happen in your life. You are putting your reputation at stake. If it does not
Ah,
happen,
correct. And if your predictions don't come true, this is actually it's a kind of it's a question mark. on your entire
Exactly.
studies.
So you got to have that courage. That will come from Sun and Mars. Then, if you want to be like a consultant and you want to guide and help others, then Jupiter is very important. So Jupiter has to be reasonably strong. Then most important is your fifth and ninth. They have to be very well placed, or fifth lord, ninth lord, they should be reasonably well placed, because the ninth house will show how well do you take knowledge from your superior.
Okay.
A person who has a bad ninth house, or problem with Jupiter, Sun, ninth lord and all this, they will always be arguing with the guru. Always. And they will always have some problems, or they will always interrupt the guru when the guru is speaking. They'll, but I have this question, but what you said does not apply here, but it's not like this, but it's not like that. So it's not bad, but you cannot learn like properly if the ninth house has problems. And the fifth house will show how you pass on the knowledge to your subordinates, to your
Students or
client.
subordinates or people for consultation,
Yeah.
let's say. Mm.
And then if you want to be in social media, the third house has to be seen, or you want to write books, then Mercury, fourth house, these has to be seen. So even within even within astrology, there could be, 10 professions.
Correct, correct.
Some, what he says, I just want to, have some basic money. I will not, yeah, I mean, I'll just read, and whoever comes to me, 379 is there, and Jupiter is very strong, fifth lord, ninth lord, sun, moon, very powerful, very idealistic. Oh, I will, not charge any money. Whatever you want, just give me and go, because the person has no inclination for money, right? But then somebody has five, then they will want money. Somebody has one, they will want control. Somebody has, even eight, double eight, quadruple eight, they will go into Vastu because that's real estate.
Mm.
And then somebody has six, they will go to gemstone. Somebody has two. Two is moon, that is psychology, psychiatry. They will become a psychological consultant.
Or
They will give
healer, we can
therapy.
say.
Exactly, healer. So that is how it will be. So within astrology alone,
Mm.
it will be massive. But primarily these planets, 3, 7, and 9 in numerology, and then Sun,
And you
Mars.
used one word, prominent. What is prominent according to you?
Prominent planet. Prominent planet means like they are in Digbal.
Okay.
Digbali planet is very prominent. An exalted planet can be prominent if it is not in a Dusthana house.
Mm.
Or any planet in the Kendra. That is
Mm.
also prominent. And especially the first and the 10th. So they can
Mm.
be very prominent. So depending on the prominence, and that is also very interesting because every planet will have some prominence somewhere. Okay. And then what will happen is you have to judge who is the most prominent planet.
That is the strength part that we have to jump into strength section and look at the planet getting more
Yeah,
strength.
yes, yes, yes. So a planet in Digbal or in Mahapurush Yoga, very, very, very powerful. And so it's like that, if somebody has three in their date of birth, three is number of Jupiter. Now, along with that, if in their chart they have Jupiter in first house, it's like double power. And if it is like, Sri Ram, Guru in Lagna, in Digbal, and exaltation, super. Well, of course, we don't know Sri Ram's date of birth, but but it's like, just suppose somebody has like this, very,
Ah,
very,
ah,
like we have Pandit Sanjay Rath ji. He has, I think his destiny number is 7, and his Guru is in Lagna in Mahapurush Yoga. Very
yeah. And
powerful.
Ketu is in 10th. So Ketu,
Yeah, now,
Jupiter
now
both
any
become
other,
prominent.
yeah, and he has that lineage also, right? Achyutananda's tradition. So now you see
Ah,
how exactly what I said to you was fitting here.
correct, correct.
Now imagine a normal person. He has, destiny 7, and he has Guru in Lagna in Cancer or Sagittarius or, Pisces, Mahapurush Yoga. But can he become Sanjay Rath? Difficult. He may become. I'm not saying he will not become,
Yes,
but
yes. I mean,
difficult.
obviously you need some sanskar to
Exactly.
move
But
ahead.
but you are not born in that tradition, so it is difficult for you. It's not
True.
there in the blood. It's not there in the DNA, right? Now, I'm not saying there are no other good astrologers. I'm just using examples. You can take
Yeah,
any.
yeah. Correct,
Srila
correct, correct.
Like Srila Prabhupada, he also said, my father Gaur Mohanday, he was a pure devotee of Krishna. So he has this. and like amazing chart, so that is how. So what I was telling you can be seen here also, right? So like the tradition, the blood, the date of birth, and I'm sure if you see their palm, you will see some very good things, which push them towards spirituality, jyotish, or whatever.
For palm, I'll definitely going to recommend you because I don't know how to see palms. But yes, I can relate with the example that you've given. Sun in debilation, but when your thumb um, is longer, then you have those qualities. I mean, I don't feel that I got debilitated sun. Obviously, I'm very confident,
Yeah,
outgoing.
yeah, that is
So,
how it. And every planet and every number has different meaning. Like
yeah.
for example, if somebody has too many ones in their date of birth, like somebody is, like 11 November 1991. It's like crazy. Like five ones are there.
Okay.
So more the trouble in leadership positions. You will always see any leader who has had more than one in their date of birth, they will have one of the two problems.
Hmm.
Either somebody will surpass them, or their country will lose land.
So they'll face problem with government, with higher authorities, or
Exactly. Like for example, LK Advani. Or the number three problem is they will not be able to reach the top.
hmm.
Like LK Advani ji. When Vajpayee ji was there, he could not become prime minister, or he did not want to, or whatever. Then when he was at his prime, he was not able to become prime minister. There was nobody in the party, but he could not defeat the opposition. And then when his party's leader Modi became prime minister, he was not there, or he could not, do it, and Modi became more popular. Like another example, Hillary Clinton could not become prime minister. Another example, Joe Biden, November born, multiple one. He became prime minister, but there is allegation of, election fraud or something like that. But even when he was prime minister, people would say, oh, this is, Obama 3.0. He's not in power. Okay. Or whatever,
So
like,
why one exactly? Like multiple one give issues with the power.
and then we also have Jawaharlal Nehru. So if you see again, 14 November, so he has, triple or quadruple one. So India lost status. So the problem with multiple one is there is some issue, problem which you face in relation to the sun. And in numerology, the number one indicates real estate.
Hmm.
So if the number one is single, then it shows you will gain territory, or
Okay.
you will maintain your territory. If one is in multiple, you will lose territory.
So like
Like,
these people who are born in 1991.
no, here the first two digits we
As a
don't take.
first two digit we are not taking, we're taking the last two digits.
So, so,
Okay.
so primarily November bonds will have
Hmm.
problem.
Hmm. November born, November in 91, we can say there'll be three ones in
Yeah,
that
because if
case.
90, yeah. So if 91, then also it is dangerous because somewhere else
Or
you will have one,
October
right?
born, then also like it is
Exactly. October 91 by default trouble.
1091. So there'll be two
January,
one.
yes, January 1991, trouble by default. And you will always see those leaders who are very powerful, they will always have number one single, always, you will see.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like Prime Minister Modi, 17th September 1950. So his one is single. So it is like very powerful. Then President Trump, 14 June 1946, single one, very powerful. Then President Putin, 17th October 1952, October, single one, very powerful. Then President Xi Jinping, also he has single one. I don't recall his date of birth.
So you said like 17th October here, we are not counting the first one that is coming in
Yeah, that's
17.
what.
We are
No, 7th October I said.
at
President.
7th October. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, 17 October is problem.
Then it will be a problem, right? It's 2-1.
Yes, and now if you see currently in Indian politics,
Ah,
Mr. Modi is there. He's the most prominent figure in the BJP,
hmm.
so he has single one. Then Amit Shah ji, right? 22nd October 1964. Again, October, single one. Very powerful. Then if you see Ajit Doval, he also has single one. S. Shankar, single one. No,
Hmm.
then interesting. Rajnath Singh has multiple one, and you will not see he's so much in the news. You'll really find, like he's like going and like passing bills or doing something like very which gets so much in the news. Maybe he's there in the background. I'm not saying against him, but generally you will see these four are always in the limelight.
Great. Yeah. You are giving me a topic for research, a good topic for research, actually.
And people will always keep asking about Rahul Gandhi, for example.
Hmm.
Like they will debate, oh, Rahul Gandhi, this chart, Modi has that chart, this planet, that planet. When will Rahul Gandhi become prime minister? This, that. The answer is till the time Modi is there, he cannot become prime minister. The reason is not in astrology, the reason is in numerology. Because
Numerology.
if you see Rahul Gandhi's date of birth, he has number one two times because he is born on 19th. So 19th, there is one nine, and then the basic number 1 plus 9 is another 9. So he has two ones, and Modi has single one. So till the time Modi is there, there is no chance, there is absolutely zero chance that he can become prime minister. But later on, if within the BJP, and if I assume BJP is still there as a party next 20 30 years, so if there is any other leader who has multiple one, which is worse than Rahul Gandhi, so he should have three ones or four ones. Only then he has chance. But by looking at the current uh, top leaders of the BJP, it is highly, I mean, who can probably succeed Prime Minister Modi, not just the next one, like next 30, 40 years, or at least, let's assume Rahul Gandhi is, I think, around 50. So maybe he's there in active politics next 30 years. In politics, 80 is also not that too big. So next 30 years, if you see the next group like Yogi Adityanath, then Himanta Biswa, then all this, Devendra Fadnavis, the top leaders, it does not seem that Rahul Gandhi has a very easy chance. It will be very difficult for him. And for this, you don't have to check their horoscopes. You will know it by the date of
By
birth.
date of birth.
Yeah. So that is the reason from
Huh.
last three elections, last three Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi has not been able to become the prime minister. And and if this is how it continues, if Modi contests for the next election, whenever it is, 2028, 7, or because of delimitation and all this, or maybe in April 2029, June, there is no chance that he will become prime. Of course, he may get more or less seats. That can vary. From 50, he came to 99. Now, next, maybe he goes back to 50, or he may go to 150. That is a separate discussion. But
Okay, but he cannot gain the seat.
yeah, but when till the time when Modi or Amit Shah is there as his primary opponent, it is difficult for him to like surpass them and become prime minister. Because that can happen in very exceptional situation. Like suppose hypothetically, Congress gets 150 seats and BJP gets 150 seats. Then I mean, and if Modi and Amit Shah's dashas are like terrible, like very bad, then in worst case, he will become this coalition prime minister. No, but if there is an hypothetically individual contest, Congress versus BJP, and then in the BJP, Modi is there and Amit Shah is there, then it is next to impossible. Then that
Hmm.
cannot happen. So that is how we know.
Huh.
And if you check their palm also, you will see like Modi's thumb is very long. He has a short thumb. So you will get all these, indications in the palm, in their horoscope also. So yes, you can know it basically when who will win
And you
and
you look on this transits a lot. I mean, I'll say like I'm fan of your transit reading. So I mean, and you are doing pretty good for mundane astrology. I mean, into mundane astrology. So I would like you to answer this question when it comes to mundane astrology or when it comes to transits. I mean, for general people, it is going to affect on the masses level. But
Yes.
individual dashas are different. I mean, people who are running in, the individual charts and the planetary alignments, the same transit, which can be bad for masses, the same transit can be really good for some individual, or like for uh, some set of group of people. So
Yes.
here, what should be your ideal approach? I mean, how you exactly look into transit, and how it can affect on the individual basis, or is it just for the masses? Do you consider nakshatra here, or
So,
just the rashis, or the houses?
so transit is less than 1%.
Hmm.
99% is the dasha and the chart. So when I'm consulting somebody, I mean, under exceptionally rare circumstances, do I even look at transits? And it hardly has any relevance in predictive astrology because that's not how you predict. That is why when I make transit videos for 12 ascendant or moon sign or whatever, I always say, depending on your dasha, it will happen. So for example,
Hmm.
suppose somebody has, a powerful planet transiting in their 10th house,
Hmm.
then they will think, oh, 10th house has become activated, I will become king, whatever. But the problem is, the prime minister of a country, or a businessman, or a unemployed person, or a criminal drug dealer, or a beggar, this range of people, or a billionaire, everybody might have that ascendant.
Correct.
And even within that they have their different chart. So for example, if somebody has single one in numerology, then the sun is very powerful by default, very powerful. So for them, they just need an excuse to have a good dasha for name fame, and it will give them name fame. It's like that fire is there, you just need to ignite it. And other people whose sun is not very powerful, who have too many ones in their date of birth, they will need some very powerful dasha, like 10th lord. Suppose somebody has Mercury in Aries,
Hmm.
then they will need a very powerful dasha, like Mars Mahadasha, Mercury Antardasha, or Mercury Mahadasha, Mars Antardasha, because then both the planets, Mars and Mercury, one is in the 10th, another is the 10th Lord, both are indicating the 10th house, so they will need something very powerful, or they need the 11th house, they need the Lagna, But if a person has a single one in their date of birth, then they just need some like sixth house. Great, activated new job, Facebook status. 10th house, oh, job in Google. क्या बात है शानदार ये everybody is clapping, you are the rising star. अरे what star is it? The date of birth is telling, not that transit or dasha.
Ah.
And so that's like that, like for example, somebody has six in their date of birth, six and seven, they can be a bit more attractive, or if they dress well, they can look a bit more attractive than others, in general, in their peer groups or all. So for them, Venus Dasha or like fifth house, that can give a lot of romantic opportunities and all this. And along with that, if there are planets transiting their fifth, then that year is going to be really happening for them.
Not for fame, for relationships.
Yeah, relationship. For fame, too, there are three houses only, first, 10th, and 11th. They are all about fame, primarily the 10th and 11th.
Ah.
So that is how. So first the numerology, then your horoscope, overall strength of the chart and your dashas, and
Hmm.
then on top, cherry on the top is you need transit. So then transits are primarily used to see when the results will come. Basically, it is not
Hmm.
what
For
what will
timing, to
come.
cast the timing of events.
Yes, exactly. Like for example, you have uh, suppose you have Sun Venus Dasha going on. Sun Venus Dasha is 1 year exact. So now Sun Venus in your original chart is indicating there can be marriage. Then what you do? Whole 1 year, the client will ask you,
Yeah.
come, winter, summer, spring, autumn,
कब
whatever.
होगा? हाँ, correct. That is the transit.
Yeah, then you may use Pratyanta, but if you don't want, then you can use transit. Okay, very good. Where are planets transiting? Okay, 29 March, Saturn has changed sign. So you are Aquarius Lagna. Oh, great. Saturn has now, suppose your Dasha started in December and he
हाँ.
consulted you in January and you said, oh, Shadi ka yog ban raha hai. He'll be like, what the hell? There is no proposal. Then you'll be like, no, wait another month. 29 March, Saturn is entering
You will get the proposal.
your second house, the proposal will come. Now then Guru is in this house, and then even if the big planets don't agree, you always have the quick planets. So Jupiter, like Sun, Mercury, Venus, they never disappoint because they have fixed transits. They're very they're very quick in giving results. And if everybody fails, the moon never fails because
हाँ.
once in a month it is always going to some house, blessing or cursing some house.
हाँ.
So you will always get. So then you say, okay, Saturn has transit. Then now, when you are Aquarius, so that means now Sun, Mercury, Venus has moved from Pisces. So now you have to wait for another 3 to 4 months when they will enter Leo. Like around that July, August, that time.
Mm-hmm.
Then July, August, September, that period, depending on which planets enter earlier and which enters later, between Sun,
Mm.
Mercury, Mars. Then you have to say, oh, now summer is going to be really happening for you. You'll finally find. And then December, when 11th house, that is the time your wedding is done.
Good.
So you can tell them now you will meet somebody after 29 March, or maybe they have
हाँ.
already met, who knows. Then by summer, your marriage is finalized, and winter, it's wedding time. And then 12th house, honeymoon gone. So, so So Sun Venus,
हाँ.
that 1 year period, December to December, activated, you found, you fixed marriage, court marriage done, this, that, wedding done, honeymoon done, and then all planets are back to the Lagna. Oops, I forgot myself. Now I'm.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming to the Lagna. I mean, it is very important to have a strong Lagna in order to uh, enjoy the result of different houses. So, how we can select somebody who want to strong their Lagna? Not luckily born with a strong Lagna. So here, what the person can do in to strengthen the to give strength to the Lagna. Any specific kind of remedies that they can perform, or any task, any donations? How you're going to approach this question? Like I am feeling a lot, like I'm having a lot of miseries in my life, and now I need some strength.
Mhm. Yeah, so then the Lagna falls in the trines and it also falls in the Kendra.
Ah,
Now, what does this mean? This means 50% trine is destiny. You cannot change it. But Kendra is within your power. You can change to some extent.
hmm,
Let's say you can change it fully. So then that means Lagna is a house where you have at maximum you have 50% control. And what is the Lagna? It is your physical appearance, your physical body, your entire existence, your thought process, your outlook towards life, your confidence and all this. So then again, before going to Lagna, we go to the date of birth.
okay.
So if one is too many number of times, the Lagna is weak by default.
Okay.
Weak does not mean it's like gone, but the person
Initiative or power, that strength is not there. Sun is giving strength.
yeah, and you will always see this during consultations also. Sorry, I'm drifting a bit. I'll come to this. So when you're consulting
Ah,
somebody,
ah,
if the person has, like single line, after booking the reading, they'll send you a mail. Hey, Mr. Kalita, I booked this reading. Here are my details. Looking forward for the consultation. Thank you. Here are my questions. Then if a person who has too many ones or too many nines, like 9 September 1999, or somebody books this reading, they'll be like, Hello, sir. I have booked the reading, like I need to know about my career, but I don't know what I will do in my career. My marriage is also screwed. Sometimes I think my marriage is the cause of my problem in career. This, that. They will send you a long essay,
Ha ha ha.
2000 words.
Yes.
And then you have to put that in chat GPT. Please summarize this in 10 points. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for giving this idea.
So when I see the length of the messages in my
Uh,
website, I already know what is the date of birth. And then there is some big crisis there in the DOB. Without
okay.
that, this cannot come. Okay, like good
Hmm.
Sun Mars in the date of birth, maximum 4 5 lines, and their questions are very focused. Okay,
Very precise questions.
yeah, these are my strengths, and this is what I want to do. Please tell me which is best and when can it be right. Bad Sun Mars, the person is, son, I don't know what I should do in life. Please tell me. I feel I should be a singer today. Tomorrow I want to be a AI expert, whatever. And
Uh,
then they're confused. They don't know what to do in life. So they are throwing their entire weight of destiny and karma to you. Please tell me, उद्धार करिए हमारा बोलिए क्या करो. And then
uh,
that's a nightmare for an astrologer because if the person gives you, I mean, you can say that from the chart. These are your strengths and weaknesses, so you better do this. But the problem with these people is, even if you tell them, they will not be able to do it, or they will not accept it. They will say, "Oh, but I can't do. I don't have confidence." So
they'll come up with excuses and justifications.
yeah, so they want some therapy, they want some counseling, they want some pampering. Sun Mars, the masculine energy is weaker, so you have to pamper them. Okay, you have to give some pat. No, no, you can do it. Don't worry. You have to say the same thing like 4 5 times. You have to repeat the same thing. Okay. So if in numerology Sun or Mars 1 and 9 is multiple, by default Lagna is like it's a bit screwed up. So you can't expect much from them. Okay. So but now suppose their Sun, Mars, these numbers are good in numerology, and their Lagna is afflicted, which means like Saturn, Rahu, these planets are there, or malefics are aspecting. So then what will happen? Saturn is there, so the person will occasionally have low confidence.
Hmm.
Occasionally, not eternal. Rahu, Rahu, occasionally he or she will have self-doubt. Occasionally, Ketu in Lagna will give confusion. So
Okay.
one is low confidence, another is confusion, another is like total chaos like Ketu at times. But it will be temporary, it will be time bound. So for these people who has a good numerology like Sun, Mars, and they have an afflicted Lagna, their problem of low confidence or headlessness or confusion will only come when the Dusthanas are active.
Hmm.
So then you have to see which planet is creating the problem. Because we are perfect, right? Only the planets are troubling us. We have no problem. We are beyond perfect. We are best
Uh,
creators of the universe. Only the
problem is with the
trouble,
stars. Yeah.
yeah, then we don't have any problem. So we don't have to remedy ourselves. We have to
We
remedy
have to
the planet.
remedy them.
Yes. So, so we remedy that particular
Uh,
planet. We suggest some Vishnu Avatar mantra for that planet, or which Dusthana houses getting activated and all this. But they will not get into depression. But now you take the other side. There, they have too many ones or too many nines in the date of birth. Now the Lagna is afflicted. Shani is in Lagna. Oh my God. It's perpetual depression. And there's nothing you can do about it. So then you have to suggest something very generic which will keep the depression under reasonable limits.
hmm.
Now, if you tell the person, no, no, just do this mantra, sab khatam ho jayega, depression gaya, that's it. He will come back to you in for like 3 months. Sir, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है वैसा ही है. So you have to set the right expectation. You have to tell the person that you may feel like this lifelong. I can only mitigate it to some extent. So then you can chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya if the Lagna is afflicted. That will that will remove your pain. And if Rahu is involved, or yeah, if any like eighth lord is in the Lagna, such bad placements, then he can chant Om Namo Narayana. This will, because if the eighth lord is in Lagna and the date of birth is bad, then the person will have perpetual fears, very insecure. Oh, my spouse will leave me. I will never get married. I will never have children. I will never have money. Because eighth house is death. It is a smashan. So you always feel you are sitting in the graveyard.
Hmm.
So you feel, oh, graveyard, what happens? He is gone. She is gone. That is gone. This is gone. Everybody is gone. I am gone. So then, and it's very incredible. You will not see these points are used during compatibility matching in the horoscope.
Hmm.
They will do Gun Milan, these, that. But what is with the date of birth, with the Lagna? How is the person thinking? So if the date of birth is bad, and on top, the eighth lord is in the Lagna, perpetually insecure. So then what happens? You are you are a boy, and if your friend is a girl, she sends you this chart. Hey, कैसा है ये देखो बताओ. You will say, oh yeah, very nice. Venus is here, this is there, that is there, blah blah blah. Go and get married, and then she takes your advice and she marries. Then next day morning, what happens? Oh, husband is asking, where are you calling? Show me your phone. Who is this person? ये colleague है, cousin है,
That
mother
is
है.
out of fear.
I want to know everything. Every minute, what are you doing? कल कहाँ थी? ये कहाँ कल कहाँ जाओगे? ये and then she's like, what the hell? I can't stay 24 hours with this person. How can I stay next 50 years? And then she calls you and you are like, oh, but you have 32 guns matching. How can this be possible? मतलब
Okay.
36 में से 32 गुण मिल रही है. Good is matching. You are very compatible, but the person is damaged. The person is not fit for marriage. There's a fundamental problem there. So when there's a fundamental problem, the person cannot have a good marriage, good health, good mental health, good money, good career, nothing. So you cannot recommend another person to get married, because then that person's life is also ruined. Does not matter what is in the seventh house or Navamsha, or whatever, like Gun Milan and all this. The person's life will be destroyed, because that person's life is anyways going to be like, the person is in self-destruction mode. So then what happens? They will destroy the husband or wife also, right? So then you have to say, if the DOB is bad and the Lagna is bad, okay, this will be under mitigate. I mean, you can just mitigate it, but you cannot get rid of it completely. And then you have to see, which planets are creating problem, and which dashas are coming. If the person is generally around 20, 30, around that age, the person has come to you for what kind of a consultation, then you have to see what is there. Like along with a bad DOB, if the person has number 5, then the person will earn some reasonable money. Okay. And if the person has 7 and 5 and 9, the person will earn a lot of money. So then you have to tell about money, you don't worry, but generally you will have low confidence,
Low
you will have
confidence. Hmm.
doubt and all. So you have to exactly, like, there is no thumb rule that okay, Lagna is bad, this will happen, that will happen. So Lagna is bad, but what is going on overall in the chart? Because the problems and solutions and the remedies should always be centric around areas of life and not astrological parameters. Like for example,
Hmm.
rather than giving 10 remedies for 10 bad placements, you should give one or two remedies for a bad career. Rather than giving 5 remedies for a bad marriage, for 5 planets which are creating troubles in marriage. Let's assume there are 5 planets sitting there in the universe and creating trouble in your marriage. Okay. So can you give 5 remedies? Who in 2025 has the time, energy, and patience and will to do 5 remedies daily? Even if you say chant 5 mantras, one mantra will take 5 minutes. You'll say, what? 25 minutes? I don't have that time. I can't
Ah.
do it. एक मंत्र बताइए 5 मिनट का, कर लूंगा शायद, दैट टू दे विल लीव आफ्टर 3 months anyways. So rather than giving, oh, your sun is in seventh, do this remedy, Rahu is affecting from there, Rahu is in the 11th, he is affecting.
One of my clients, she came, she got some 60 remedies in a
Oh my
consultation from
God.
someone, and she followed all the 60 remedies. Still, in
Wow.
spite of following all the remedies, she is not married yet. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you have to, like, in my case, like, maximum 4 to 5 remedies, maximum, like, which has to be done daily, on a daily
mm,
basis, like,
lifestyle
maximum, like,
remedies, we can say.
yeah, lifestyle generic remedies, you can say, like, eat more vegetarian food, reduce
Mm,
meat, that they can decide, how much. But if you are suggesting mantras, it should not exceed more than two or three. Like, I suggest, like, 4 or 5 mantras. It's like, because what's the funny part is, a person whose chart indicates needs to chant 4, 5, 6 mantras will not be able to chant even one because the situation is so bad. So therefore, if a person's chart says, oh, there is some anxiety, then okay, this mantra. Anxiety will be created not by one planet, it will be created by 4, 5 planets. So for
correct.
those 4, 5 planets, you have to suggest one remedy, not the, oh, yeah, I suggest 5 remedies. Oh, what he will do five? Then there is depression, then there is self-doubt. So for every problem you are suggesting 5 remedies, I mean, it's bizarre. I mean, can we ourselves as astrologers, can we do like what? Forget 15. Can we do even 5 remedies every day? It's a nightmare. Even if you say, no, no, every day one mantra, every Friday you have to do this 52
Uh,
times a year. That also they can't do because some Friday there is birthday program, there is wedding, there is
Having
some.
consistency won't be there.
Yeah, so I think 2 or 3 mantras and remaining lifestyle changes. Do fasting on
Mm,
Fridays, Thursdays, planets,
mm,
and by that you can actually make the remedies reasonable and also approachable. Like, you can sit at your home and take a mala and do. You don't have from Santorini, Greece. You don't have to fly to Banaras. Thousands of kilometers in that Air India flight where nothing works. And you don't have to go to that, some ghat and in 45-degree angle you have to throw the water. You don't have to do all this. You can sit at your home and you can do so. So the
uh,
remedies have to be like a bit sensitive to the culture also, because nowadays many Muslims they also consult,
correct.
and you tell them, oh, very nice,
ये
chant Om
हनुमान
Namo
चालीसा करना
Narayana.
है.
Tell Om Namo Narayana must be chanted. He'll be like,
What
what?
are you talking about?
Then he will ask you, sir, just tell me when I'm in trouble, what should I chant? So it's like, it's very bizarre. And there are
Uh,
Christians who will consult you, and there are like Gen Z who will consult you. Gen Z will ask, sir, this you said 5 mantra, every mantra one time, right? Om Namo Narayana one time. I said, not one time, 108 times. So Gen Z will be
okay.
like, no, no, one mantra, one time, right? 5 mantra, 5 times, done. 30 seconds, I'm off with my mantras. I am, the vibe check is done with my Devata. I have checked the vibes, and, now I'm off to explore the world. I'm there to conquer my day. They will speak like this. So you can't suggest them, like, sit 2 hours and chant mantras. You cannot do it, right? And and if you do, you can suggest 60 remedies as you said, but what will happen? After 60 days, they will stop doing. So
So,
the
do you
remedy
get like
has,
this question for past life pending karma? I get a
I,
lot
I,
of questions like this, like what is my karmic debts? What are my
I
pending
get,
karma?
but I always tell them my job is this life. I can help you with this life.
Hmm.
I can tell you what you need to do in this life. But if you are expecting me to tell you that in your past life, when you were 53 years old, you bet your wife in the head, and now your wife has taken this avatar, came and bet you at your head when you were 20 years old, then that's scam. There is no way to do it. Whoever is doing this is just scamming people. oh, dragging past life things into this. You can get some idea, but
Yeah, correct.
you cannot
Complete
literally.
story you cannot narrate. You can get some insights. So, but how you look into those insights? I mean, my question is regarding D60 chart. So, what are the methodologies? I mean, obviously, it's a very in-depth question. Generally, people they don't know how to look into D1 and D9. I mean, how they can jump into D60. But I want to know your approach. Like, at what, like, when anybody is asking any question. So, on what part you are going to approach D60 part, D60 chart?
Yeah, D60 I generally use only when they are, like when they have tried everything and I have done birth time rectification, date of birth, palmistry, everything I have done, but still there is no answer.
Hmm.
Then I go and see maybe there is some issue with the eighth house of D60, which is like a very powerful karma, which is stopping that person. Then in 90% of the cases, I tell them, you can do nothing, just pass this period. Do your best and leave the rest. Make the best use of a bad bargain. And then, yes, if there are good things, I say, okay, along with this problem, you can also do this good thing. This you might get some help from this area of life.
Hmm.
For example, if somebody is, looking for job everywhere, 10 directions and not finding, then in the D60, if there is a good planet like Venus, then I say, okay, some female may help you or some member of the opposite sex. But again, for that, there has to be some good dasha and all this. So again, the principle is the same. I don't see that in isolation, and nothing has to be seen in isolation, not even numerology. If somebody has number 6, you tell them, oh, you'll be very attractive. That's not necessarily true, because that has to be supported. In the chart, the fifth house has to be reasonably good, and in the D9, Venus has to be good. Then the person is a bit more attractive. If they have 6 and 7 also in their date of birth. So at the end, it is like a complete thing, and you have to know. Like I always say, 99% of astrology is to figure out if the period is good or bad.
True.
If the period is good, you can do whatever you want. If the period is bad, you can also do whatever you want.
Great,
So
great. This is a wonderful discussion.
if the periods are
Huh.
great, worse, whatever they ask, if it is great, answer is yes. Will I get married? Yes. Will I become millionaire? Yes. The periods are bad. Will I get married? No. Will I become millionaire? No. Will I get a car? No. Will I get a home? No, certainly not.
Uh,
Will I get into trouble? Yes, certainly. Will I get disease? Yes, certainly you will. So
so
that is
like
99%. And the
hmm.
remaining 1% is detail. Oh, I'll get court case. By whom? My wife will want alimony. My whatever, my in-laws will create problem. My neighbor will throw case on me because of property encroachment or whatever. Which house is associated this. But that's least important.
Hmm.
That's only 1%. And you give them hints, they will be, oh, ha, neighbor ऐसा है, कभी भी case डाल सकता है. He's already aware. The trouble is there next door. Okay. Or yeah, my colleague, yes, trouble है, गड़बड़ है, कुछ तो करेगा वो. So that is not very important. Most important is, okay, this period is good for this, or this is bad for this. And if good, how good this is. Any bad, is it like just bad, or is it like really bad, or like is it gone? Like there's nothing I can do about it. It's like screwed, it's finished. So or it is like, once in a blue moon, it's like, you are the star, okay, something like that. So once that analysis is done, the level of good or bad, the rest 1% is irrelevant, because the person already, that's what I do. I say, okay, 2027 will be good for you. Then the person are good in what? I said, see, these are two, three areas. But the good news is it doesn't matter, because Destiny is destiny. It will not change. Like sometimes people will ask you in career readings that, oh, I am, sir, in IT and I'm not doing good there. Should I switch to finance? Will I do good there? Or the other way around, can I switch from finance to IT? So maybe I'll do some better there. And the answer is no, you will not. Because because your dasha is indicating the problem is there. So either you become a mechanic or you become a film star, you are in trouble.
Hmm.
So when the dasha is bad, do your best and be like a tortoise. Protect yourself. When the tortoise does, when there's trouble, the tortoise goes inside,
And
stop.
they can go inward, correct?
Yeah. So, then maybe I will tell them, don't take that iPhone in EMI. And the first sign of poverty, iPhone with EMI. So don't do that. Mercedes with EMI. Don't do that. Second sign of poverty. So don't do all this. Don't take loans. Don't, take some ultra high risk in the name of, risk appetite and all this. Don't put all money in meme coins or, penny stock or something like that. Diversify your portfolio. Look for more stable asset. And then when your next dasha comes, provided the dasha is better, then you can go into riskier. From residential, you can try commercial real estate. And if it is even better, you can try, land in, tier 3 cities. Then after 10, 20, 5 to 10 years, if that becomes tier 2 city, then the land will grow by, 10, 20x. Okay, you put 50 lakhs, it becomes 10 crore, something like that. So it not only depends on your present. People always ask, oh, how is this year? Can you tell me? But the thing is, this year's prediction and analysis has to be given by taking into consideration the next 10, 20 years. Very important. Like simple example, the person is asking, period is good. Oh, I'm into finance. Can I go into IT? Now, Dasha is very good. You will say, oh, yes, yes, certainly, because I said, no, good period, anything you want, yes, yes, go from finance to IT, you can go. But after 18 months, his Mahadasha is changing, and imagine his Saturn Mahadasha is starting, and Saturn is very badly placed. So then what will happen? He has shifted, like he or she, this person is working 10 years in finance, and now
Hmm.
suddenly to IT. So does not know the basics of technology, does not have connections, does not know IT, how management, how resource allocation, all these works, has no idea, but has shifted. But he knew everything about finance. He has contacts with all these. Now what will happen? After 18 months, if he is fired, he has no scope of getting any job. Or he will get a very bad job, like one-fifth of his pay. So then we recommend that, my dear sir, my dear madam, I understand you have had three promotions in last 6 years,
Ah.
but that does not mean it will repeat. Okay. So stay in finance. Within finance, you want to go into IT or whatever, that's fine. But be in your sector, be in your domain, because then if you lose your job, you can use your previous contacts. You can take help of them and find some other job. Maybe, one third or half the pay or 80% pay or whatever. You have some shelter at least. So then, just because this year is good, the answer should always not be yes. The At least for career, the next 5 years has to be seen, and the complexity increases more if the person is married and is a male, because then you have to say, like, oh, you have two kids, you are 40, so you have to be very careful. Unless at least 5 to 7 years are good, I will not recommend you change your domain from IT, finance, or whatever. Now, if you say, oh, I am, 21 years old, whatever, then 2 years is good, 3 years is bad, then I'll say, okay, you can take more risks, you can do, but yes, don't expect much growth in these 2 years. These are bad. Then after 3 or 2 years, you will have good growth. So the present should always be told by considering the future.
The future, correct.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Like, the last question that I would like to know, uh, because I get a lot of queries lot of, I mean, from the point that with which we started, duty or destiny, right? So you said that one should choose duty comparative to destiny. Is there
Yes.
any way that person can change their destiny or duty? Any of them, right?
So destiny, like if you say, can I change my destiny? It is contradictory because destiny means that is destined.
Mm,
So when you ask, can I change my destiny? That means you think destiny is something which is changeable. That means it is not destined. So the
mm,
word so this question itself has that, what is that? In logics, there is a fallacy, it is known as the future paradox.
mm.
So they say there's a paradox. If I know my future, can I change it or not?
This is a question that we get. Can I change it?
So then the thing is, if you can change it, then it was not your future. Because
Mm,
at this point, if I say I see my future tomorrow, for tomorrow, then it means it is destined. That is the future. That will happen. So today, if I say, oh, okay, tomorrow, I will have some health problem because I will eat, Chinese food in some restaurant. So then, oh, I will not eat Chinese today. I will eat Chinese the next day, whatever. But then that was not future. So it is like future's paradox. So this question itself this is beyond, I mean, this question cannot exist basically. Now, the question that can exist is how far do I have free will, and how much trouble is there in the destiny, or how much can I mitigate what is there in the destiny? That is the
mm.
question. So if somebody asks, can we mitigate destiny? Zero, no, false. You can't. But somebody can ask, oh, sorry, you cannot ask, how can I change my destiny? How much can I change? No, you can't change 0%. But somebody can ask, to what extent can I mitigate it? Mitigate means to what extent I can manage my life. So then the answer is, if in a person's chart, the trines and the 10th and 11th, so the 5th, ninth, 10th, and 11th, these houses are very strong, very powerful. The person can protect themselves even when there is a destruction outside. How? The person, the 5th and the ninth, is hopeful, believes in God, and is waiting for God's mercy or whatever. Is spiritual, is now detached. Okay. And 10th and 11th, there is some grace from somewhere. Somebody is helping you, somebody is giving you something. So a person who has a strong 5th, ninth, 10th, and 11th will most likely, even if there is the worst disaster, will never be on the streets. Not because the disaster is small or smaller, but because some hope, something or the other is there. So by default, if the 5th, ninth, 10th, and 11th are very powerful in a person's chart, then it means by destiny, along with the trouble, something good is also there. Like you lost your job, there is some relative is supporting you, your father or mother is supporting you. And along with this, in their date of birth, if they have number 7, 7 is luck, purva punya, 7, destiny 7, or whatever, then also they will be able to somehow maneuver or manage through it. And on top of that, if the opposite is true,
Mm,
it means in astrology the Dusthana houses are very prominent, and the criminal numbers 8 and 4 are present in the date of birth. Oof, this is real trouble. You can be on the streets. This is real trouble. It can be like so bad that Now, when I say come to the streets, does not mean you are literally in the street, but it might mean you have to leave everything and go back. Like, for example, one of my friend, like when I was doing masters in Germany, one of my friend from Pakistan, he was one of my classmates. He was also doing, but he had like a real tough time after 2 years of his masters. So then he did not find a job, and then you have job seeker visa, 18 months. Those days it was 18 months, 2017, 18. Now I don't know how much it is. And he could not find a job for 18 months straight.
Okay.
And then was he was forced to go back to Pakistan. And after going to Pakistan, imagine a person has come from foreign. Now, nowadays, foreign degree is not much of value or admiration, but those days,
Mm.
10 years back, it was still very very valuable. So he was there at least 3 4 years, staying in a village in Pakistan. He was struggling, could not find anything. Can you just believe it? A person spends 1 year in getting admission in Germany, 1 2 years, giving all IELTS, GRE, all this exam.
Mm.
Then 2 3 years he spent in doing masters. Then 1.5 years he spent in finding job. You calculate how much it is. Already 5 6 years. Then 2 3 years again he has to go and stay in a village in Pakistan. No job, barely making ends meet. And that was his Mars Mahadasha. And his chart was, it was a very difficult chart. So this is what I call literally on the streets. So he could not save himself, and he lost everything. And imagine, like he's a Pakistani, so he was married very young. I think
You have kids.
he had 2 or 3 kids, if I am aware of. Those
Mm.
that time, maybe two, I think, or maybe
Mm.
three, or minimum two. And he had the kids before he came to masters for doing
Okay.
masters in Germany. He was, I
Okay.
think, 24 or around that age.
Huh.
And by the time he finished, the kids were like, one was, I think, 2 years or 3 years, another was like 7 8 years. Imagine their plight for the next 6 years. Imagine their plight and childhood. How difficult it is, right? So this is like coming to the streets. Of course, then Mars Dasha was over. He found some job, but it was like way below his level and all this. But anyways, nonetheless, so if these four houses are powerful, whatever happens, you will still somehow survive. You won't be destroyed completely. But if the Dusthana houses are very prominent and bad dashas are there, and your Lagna also is very weak. Lagna
Mm.
again, date of birth. Too many ones, too many nines.
So is there any remedy for like these too many ones, too many nines? No.
Then yeah, you have to take some courses on confidence, speech, assertiveness, leadership management. These skills are not there in you in good
Mm.
quantity, so you have to develop them.
So like multiple ones gives you that kind of tendency that you don't have those skills.
Yes, you may have it, but it will be not to the extent that is required.
Okay.
And the problem with these multiple one, multiple nine, always somebody will step on their head and go.
Hmm.
Always, I mean, sorry, I should not use the words. If you are in an organization, somebody
Hmm.
can kick you out without your notice. Like you are standing, somebody kicks you from behind and you are out. And you don't know what the hell happened. Who did all
Uh,
this?
so
You are
very
figuring out.
relatable.
अरे इसको फोन करो उसको फोन करो इसने
Uh,
बोला उसने बोला you are fired without any notice and somebody does something and you are clueless. What happened? क्या हो गया? But the person who has one or nine, in single, will at least be aware. Now they can also be kicked out, but the person will fight. And more important than that, they will be aware. I might be kicked. So I need to look for alternatives. Oh, I am 10 years in this organization. This newcomer. Newcomer has I am 11th November born, and oh, this newcomer is, not having just a single one. Oh, in next 2 years, he's sitting next to me. And then the third year, he's my boss.
Okay, great.
My boss was also November born, so now
For
he
me, like this is very new insights, very new insights. But yes, relatable. A lot of
yeah, so
things.
therefore, when you see all this,
Mm,
and in worst extreme case, if everything is like gone, then yeah, there could be suicide and all this also, in worst case. But
mm,
yeah, ultimately at the end, astrology is not about perfection. It is all about making the best use of a bad bargain. Your chart that you have, mostly people have terrible charts because most of the people are suffering in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means, as the Bhagavatam says, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Upadrita, unfortunate, unable to get married, unable to have stability, unable to remain married, unable, even if they are married, they are able
ah,
to remain married, unable to be happy in marriage. So those who are unmarried are miserable. Those who
married
are
or miserable.
those those who are just married, maybe they are a bit happier, but eventually they also go in the first category, miserable. And those who are perpetually married, like 20, 30 years,
They're
even
also miserable.
miserable. So misery is constant. Your relationship status may keep changing. Career, no stability. Today job is gone, Amazon 14,000 layoffs, recently, whatever, like.
Mm.
So Kali Yuga means people are unfortunate. And Manda Sumanda Matayo, always disturbed mentally, always. No sleep in the night, no peace in the day, scrolling reels, addictions, affair, pornography, this, that. It's like destruction all over. Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga means backbencher. Backbencher means we did not do good credits and we did not elevate our consciousness spiritually. So what happens? We could not perfect in Satyug. We were we were driven out. Then we got a chance in Treta Yuga. Ooh, no, हम नहीं सुधरेंगे. Fair enough.
Let's go to Kaliyug together.
Next, go to Dwapar Yuga.
Ah,
Dwapar Yuga. Uh, Treta Yuga, Sri Ram was there. Very straight, very strict. Okay, no problem.
ah.
Next, go to Dwapar Yuga. Krishna is there. He's a bit, apparently a bit mischievous at times. Maybe he tries. He
He
to take
tried his best.
tried his best to take us back to the spiritual world. He came and literally, Krishna is the only no Vishnu avatar who, I mean, he literally told everything one on one so that there is no misinterpretation.
Best counseling ever.
Yeah, even there we failed. And then Kaliyug came. And even now also in Kaliyug, people are asking, oh,
What I did.
I'm in relationship, will this continue or will I find somebody else? Then I'm like, you rascal, at least you are in relationship now. Now you should not ask this question. Oh, sir, actually, the problem is this is my fifth relationship. I'm 19, so there's no guarantee. So I'm asking in advance. Then I'm imagining, imagine this person was in Satyug, he's doing some yagya and what is going on inside his mind.
Correct. And that karma bring him here in Kaliyug.
Yeah, imagine he's in Satyug and he's some rishi,
Mm.
whatever, some born in some rishi family is doing. Oh, then, some people are accumulating. What he will do? He will be staring at women.
Mm.
Or his woman then same, like Supnakha. Okay, who's this handsome dude? That's Ram. Oh, dear Ram, will you marry me? I have taken, I'm one woman man. I can't marry you, but don't worry. My brother will help you. You can check with my brother, if he wants. Then she goes, oh, who's that? That's Lakshman. He's not too bad either. He's equally handsome. Hey, what about you? Then he says, if you marry me, I am servant of Sita and Ram. So if you marry me, you have to also be a servant like me to Sita and Ram. So it will be difficult for you. And then she was like, oh, this lady Sita is the cause of my trouble. I will go and kill her. So, so male or female, same mentality. Either you are male, then Ravana mentality. Ravana mentality is supermarket mentality. Like what happens when you go to supermarket? What do you do? Oh, I like this. Put it. Oh, I like this. Put it. Oh, put it. Put add to cart. Right. So Ravana mentality is like that. Oh, I'm married. No problem. I like this girl.
Let me take it.
Let me take her. Let me try at least. Who knows? Something happens.
Situation
Or
should we call it?
now though it is 2025. You don't know which ship the
Which
ship is
ship is this?
the ship is sinking. In Kali Yuga,
Great.
there is no relationship, no situationship, only sinking ship. Whichever ship you are, the only thing is the ship is sinking. That's the only ship you have. And
Hmm.
it is not just sinking in terms of relationship, it is sinking everywhere. Health sinking,
Everywhere.
career sinking, marriage sinking, whatever. Every Kali Yuga is problem. So, astrology, best use of a bad bargain. You have a bad chart. And maybe that's the prime reason people don't like to hear this. But you have a terrible chart, and that forced you to come to astrologers.
Astrology.
And your imagine how bad your chart is that even astrologers could not help you. So after that,
You
after
decided to study.
after failing in 50 consultations or at
Hmm.
least 10 minimum, you failed with Nadi astrologers, you failed with KP, Parashari, forget it, Jaimini gone. Failed everywhere. No
This is
prediction,
such a harsh reality, but
no prediction, nothing. Like recently, one person asked me, sir, have you seen any chart, any combination which tells you that the person will be in astrology lifelong? I said, yes, I see it every day. Every day. The
terrible
more
chance.
the more terrible the chart is, the more the probability. The
Of
longevity.
becoming good, yeah. Great. So,
Years. Oh, I am in Jyotish from 50 years. So then I know what they mean.
great, great. Any message for new
There,
astrologers like who just started learning astrology? I mean, I know throughout this, like this as we've been passing the messages for the astrologers only. So what would be this you know message for new astrologers like who just started learning astrology?
the only message is you will be humbled. You will be humbled. So you have two options. Either you become humble yourself
Hmm.
or after you face humiliation.
Good.
Because
Uh,
uh, people will, like in astrology, people will try to scam you from all sides.
mm,
If you are a fish in the ocean, in the ocean of astrology, if you are a normal person, you will be scammed by other astrologers. You will be scammed big time with remedies. My God, you will do so many remedies. You will not want to do any more remedies. Then, if you are an astrologer yourself, you will be scammed by other clients.
mm.
Like they will take consultation and they will tell, I didn't like it. Give my money back. And you're like, what do you mean? What you did not like? Oh, I wanted to know when I will get married, but you only said negative things, no marriage next 5 years. Arre, I can only tell you what is in your karma. I cannot change it.
Correct.
But no, I did not get what I wanted to hear. Give me my money back. or else I will go and give bad review in YouTube. I will write, socially badnaam karunga. I will spread fake news against you. I will say you took my money and you absconded. So people will scam you from all sides. Whoever, whichever end of the spectrum you are, receiving end or giving end, you will be scammed. Either you are on the top or you are bottom.
Bottom.
Or in the middle, you will be scammed by both. Middle means you are in a position where you are consulting other astrologers and you are also learning astrology and you aim to consult others one day. So that is like, it's like the cream place where you'll be hit
यहाँ
because
से भी पिटना है, यहाँ से भी पिटना है.
yeah, I'll tell you why the middle position is the worst.
हाँ.
Because no astrologer will like to consult you because during a consultation you are always asking critical questions. Oh, but my in D60 this planet is here and the other astrologer is are you Bewakuf, I am from KP, I don't consider all this. No, but you have to tell me, this is in Mahapurush Yoga, this is so no astrologer likes this kind of people. And your clients don't like you because all your predictions fail because you don't have knowledge. So, so it is that journey of 4 to 5 years, which at least 5 years, which you need, where you are, you have been scammed, not scammed, but like you are sufficiently frustrated with at least a dozen astrologers, nothing matched, nobody could help you. And then after going through this phase literally around goes for at least 2 to 3 years, till 3 years you still have some hope, some astrologer will be able to help me. The hope is still there, hum honge kamyab, but after 3 years you give up, then you are like, oh, now I will learn it myself. So then that second phase begins. Then you will want to consult others 2 3 years because people will ask you, your friends, family members, relatives, they will ask for free readings and all this, and then you will consult them. It will predictions will fail because you are not experienced. You will use some basic rules. Oh, seventh house, you will get married, and then after 3 years you realize, oh, that planet was in the sixth house actually in Bhavchalit chart, so he got divorced.
Hmm.
The opposite happened, or he did not get married. Next dasha he got married. Either ways, so that phase will go on like 3 4 years, and then after like yeah, total around 7 to 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, depending on how much time you give, you are now a bit established in some domain where some people respect you and many disrespect you, but some respect,
Hmm.
and most of your predictions fail, some of them succeed. Like you gave like 10 predictions, two or three are correct, remaining
Hmm.
seven are wrong. Exactly the opposite happened, whatever you said.
Hmm.
And then after like another 4 5 years, when you fine tune your craft, then you can open your online courses, you can train students. And yeah, so it is like a journey of like around 8 to 10 years, I believe, if somebody wants to go to that ladder. And the best part is there is nobody to do politics, and the worst part is there's nobody to help you. You got to do it all by yourself. Of course,
Great.
you can join some course or something like that, or some community, some domain of astrologers. You can find a mentor, but most important is you have to cross-check events, like with the existing people that you have to cross-check. Like you have to sit with your friend, your best friend, like okay, we will sit for 4 hours.
Hmm.
बताओ क्या हुआ था मार्च 2018, बताओ क्या हुआ था अगस्त 2020. Sometimes you have to ask ये हुआ था क्या, then he will say oh नहीं हुआ, हुआ था, correct. Then you will know, okay, in this chart rule ये बताता है और ये ऐसे हो रहा है. Maybe now rule says oh he got promotion, then he will, then you ask promotion मिला, he will say हाँ मिला but पे नहीं बढ़ा, designation बढ़ा, तो it was a 50-50 promotion. Then you have to see which planet is causing obstruction there. Or he says no, I lost my job, then you have to know there is something
Garbad.
seriously wrong,
Hmm.
but time is wrong or something, the planets have changed their houses, or yeah, whatever, depending on that. So it is a lonely journey of yeah,
Astrology.
8 to 10 years. And the most difficult thing psychologically, the most painful thing about an astrologer is every message that you get from your near and dear ones will be only to consult you. And they will
This
pretend
is this is so painful at times that you feel that you are remembered only for their needs. That's it.
they are remembered only when
It's
they're in
such,
trouble,
this is
right?
so relatable that I mean, I'll say this is the pain as if now that they call you, they are not going to ask how are you. They only going to ask मेरा time कैसा चल रहा है, मेरे बारे में कुछ बता दे.
Yes. And most astrologers are freelancers. And if you are consulting in India, the problem is the moment they see you are a freelancer, they will only see the first four words. आप पीछे का भूल जाएंगे. They will only see, oh, you are free. You are jobless. Jobless means you are free. You should give everything for free. And then there will be all this, Jyotish is, divine science, you cannot charge for divinity. Divinity has to be free for all. There was one person recently who sent this message to me. So I asked him, okay, well, fine. Then which aspect of divinity would you like to explore in your life? It's a divine science, right? So which is that divine aspect that you want to divinely explore?
Hmm.
He said, I want to know when will I, find love. I said, by love, you mean divine love? Love of God? I said, for that, I can tell you for free. But if you're asking for a girl, then you have to pay money because then that's
uh,
not divine.
uh,
So divinity is mixed with materialism as per comforts of people. So the knowledge is divine, but questions are not divine, but they will claim it is divine because the science is divine. So after all this, people will, and the most funny thing is all your school friends, your teachers, your gully wale, mohalle wale of your childhood, everybody will be back to your life. They will come to your life running, rushing for you as if you never lost them in your life because, because they are desperate for answers. And they will not respect your time. And in India, especially, they're very smart. They know. It's like in India, how it happens is if there's some relative who does not have a very close relationship with you, but they want a reading from you. And they're like, "Yes, ये तो फेमस हो रहा है अभी इससे तो लेना ही है रीडिंग यार ये क्या prediction देता है whatever इससे लेके रहेंगे." So then they will not come to you directly. They will sneak in through your parents, your mother's side. They will talk to your mother. They will not tell they want consultation. They'll call your mother and say, हाय 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 ये हो गया सत्यानाश हो गया ये हो गया जॉब चला गया प्रॉपर्टी खराब हो गया डिवोर्स हो गया बच्चे का ये हो गया वो हो गया this happened that happened and then your mother will be like oh ऐसा हो गया don't worry I'll tell my son to check your chart अरे whatever टिंकू मिंकू चिंकू बता क्या होगा टिंकू बता क्या होगा मामा जी का प्रॉब्लम हो रहा अभी फोन कर मामा जी
इसे
को
एक और चीज आती है. अच्छा तो सबका बताता है तो एक एक हमारा बता के दिखाए तो हम जाने. I mean, they're going to
हमें
challenge
पता
you
ही
for
नहीं
the
है कुछ हम
predictions.
जस्ट दे वुड आस्क मी लाइक आई वुड से देर से अरे आप तो तुम तो फेमस हो गए हो 10,000 फॉलोअर हो गए मिड 2018 देन आई वुड काउंटर क्वेश्चन देम फेमस किसने बोला मैं फेमस हूँ अरे तुम छाए हुए हो अर्जुन पाई जी ने बुलाया तुम्हें ये हो अरे नहीं वो ऐसे आई एम जस्ट लर्निंग आई एम स्टूडेंट देन दे विल से नहीं नहीं थोड़ा थोड़ा बता दो ऊपर ऊपर का बता दो ये वो दे विल डू ऑल दिस so you have to get used to this how do I say this is an aspect of I would say astro bullying people will bully you and they will pretend to be your best friend and you will be bullied by other astrologers also they will take your name directly indirectly whatever like I remember 2019 I got a mail from a big astrologer I will not take name so his assistant messaged me the message was like Mr. Exotic Astrology, comma. This was the message. It seems you are using our hashtags for your YouTube videos. This is not permitted under the law of our country, whatever. So you are instructed to remove all hashtags with immediate effect, or else there will be consequences, which is whatever कुछ लिखा है ऐसा, beyond your whatever. So then I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, she was a lady, female writing. I was like, what the hell is she writing? Is she even aware of what nonsense is this? So then what I did is I went to my YouTube, upload defaults. I took a screenshot of the hashtags I use and I sent them. I sent her this. I said, hey, my dear madam, this is the list of hashtags. Then I also sent my last 2, 3 videos. There's a website where you can automatically find the hashtags.
Hmm.
So I said, you go and click this, put this link in this website, and if you find any hashtag of your channel, then I will publicly apologize to everybody. And then when I replied, then after 7, 8 days, she said, the reply came again, thank you for sending this. It was our mistake. So then I responded back. So now will you apologize? And they didn't reply. So these are big sharks, 10, 20 times bigger subscribers than you. They will try to snatch you. This will also happen. So in corporate, it happens, in a bit of formal way, somebody doing it. But here it is all ad hoc. They will come and punch you in your face,
No, I
through.
got a strike once. So relatable. I reached up to that level that I got a strike once.
Ah, okay. Yes, always. People cannot tolerate.
It has already started, actually.
Then that means you are progressing.
The
So
same thing that
more than
this
double
is the
your
same
progress.
thing which I said to myself, that it means you're progressing. That people, if they are reacting to it, so it means that.
Because that means they perceive you as a threat. Because you have something which they don't. Yes, so that's how it is. So be ready to learn, to be kicked from other astrologers, and especially your clients, they will try to scam you big time, and other astrologers also, your peer astrologers, they may appear very nice, but they're only nice till the time your following is around theirs. The time your following crosses, then they are not suddenly that nice to you anymore. Yes, apart from that, your relatives, friends, they will harass you all the time. They will bombard your parents, and and your parents, we are from that generation. My parents have said means it has to be done. It's not a question of if what is there in my schedule. These things don't apply. It's India. So they will exploit the relationship which they have with their parents, and they will try to snatch every bit of time that you have. It may look like I'm speaking badly, but this is in fact the reality. People will exploit you like anything. So be prepared for it, but guard your time. Your time is most precious. If there is some relative or somebody who is bombarding you with questions which you have already answered a dozen times, then you cannot say no to them, but you can give them a date which is very far. Like if they're asking, oh, when will this happen? You like, you just answered it yesterday. They're asking you again. So then you can tell them, sure, I will talk to you. We can talk in another, 45 days. Are you
Uh-huh.
free? Are you free? End of, today, what is the date today? 7th April here in Germany. Okay, we can talk, 23rd May. We can talk. Are you free? My assistant will book a slot for you at, 5. So you have to bring in some formal interaction, an assistant, email,
Uh,
appointment, calendar. They will be a bit intimidated by that. And once that is done, then they will kind of gradually understand. And then next time they messages you, if they are again continuing to do this nonsense, you give them a time after 3 months. Okay, we'll talk in August. Till then, I'm busy. And again they do it next year, August, then January. So this is how you have to deal with, relatives, or same goes with friends, so-called friends, who suddenly remember you when they see you, announcing that you crossed 10K, 15. I think 10K is that one milestone. When you cross it, everybody is behind you. It's like people are running behind you. You are all friends, school friends, college, masters. They are desperate to get time from you. Till 10K, it is more like they will treat you as an experiment. Like, कौन है ये करता है कुछ कुछ जाने दो. They will behave. After 10K, my God, 10,000 people watch him daily. He must have something great. कुछ तो होगा इसमें. 10,000 लोग डेली देखते, because they don't know how YouTube works. They think, oh, 10,000 subscriber means any video you upload 10,000 views, which is not correct. But they think like that because they are not themselves in YouTube. So then they will contact you. Your school friends, your school teachers who said you will never be successful in life, they will also come to you, and they will write and comment behind your videos. We knew you would always make it in life. They will write all this. School teachers, okay. We knew you would always be successful. You were this far. We knew you were just 20 years far from being successful, because we knew you 20 years back. That time you were not successful. So they will do all this. And they will try to blackmail you also. They will say, अरे हमें तो time ही नहीं देते हैं, जनाब हो गए आप, नवाब हो गए. They will tell all this. It's a part of the game and you have to handle it. It is exactly like corporate politics. People trying to pull you down, people trying to suck your time without giving you anything in return, or without even being considerate about you and your schedule, your time. It's like they're just barging into you, bombarding into your life. And so the only practical piece of advice is never give your WhatsApp number to anybody. Thank you. And you
Great,
should
great,
inform your parents also कि मेरा WhatsApp number किसी को नहीं देना. That's it. Others is
great.
fine. Instagram, ID, YouTube, email, give all this, no problem. Facebook, DM and all, but WhatsApp number should never be shared, because I did this mistake in 2018, 19, that time 17, and my life was like a post office. Every time when I get up in the morning, I on the Wi-Fi, oh, 200 messages every day, 300 messages.
Babre.
There was one fellow I remember, he was from London. He said, "Sir, I can only pay you $10. Please consult me. I'm in a very problematic situation." And by mistake, in WhatsApp, you have this now, who can watch your DP, everyone, contact, and all this. So his DP was kept to everyone. So I could see his DP. So his DP was looking very nice. So I looked at his DP, and it seems he has a Rolls Royce Phantom. So I asked him, "Why do you say only $10?" He said, "No, actually, sir, I have a lot of money, but the problem is, my wife controls all the money. I cannot make a bank transaction without her permission." So these are stories people will tell you. They have a Rolls Royce, but they can only pay you $10. And you will feel, "Oh, I wish I was in IT, or, medical, or some other profession." You will get that haunt will come, where you will see your future is dark, nothing appears. But that will be there, and that will be there eternally when you have 50,000, 100,000. Only thing is, the category of people will change, but the excuses will be always the same. So, in short, do your best. You will make blunders, and apologize if your predictions are wrong, and try to give them more time. If your predictions are wrong, if they're asking you, try to answer them back. Okay, you didn't get job now, maybe you'll find in another 6 months or 1 year, whatever. And try to be fair, try your best, basically. But at the end, you will be scammed, you will be spammed, and you will be tortured, tormented, and bullied. Remember it. And remember that this will always be there. Even if you, like, In my case, I have YouTube silver button, 100,000 subscribers, but the fundamental is the same. It is the same. There's no
It
change.
started just after 10K.
Yeah, after 10K, it like, really starts, because other people, they're a bit intimidated. Hey, who is this, How does he have 10,000 people watching him always? So after
Hmm.
10, you like really feel that, something is happening in my life. That's how it happens. So
Great. It
that's
was
how.
really great discussion, Babaji. Matlab, I really enjoyed this conversation. I had conversation before as well with many people, but this is very grounded and so much of practical learning, which a lot of new buys can take away. A lot of takeaways here, and truth, that's important. Right? So it takes courage to speak truth in the face, right?
You need a few more subscribers and it comes out.
But amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. And I would love to have another conversation very soon. Like whenever you have time to let me know. And
Sure.
you mentioned about Chalit. So Chalit would like to have conversation next on Chalit because Chalit is the chart where people are like haywire going here and there, not much aware the power of Chalit. They are simply looking at Rashi chart and the line chart, but not able to read the Chalit chart, how exactly it work or affect. We can have proper discussion, and it's quite late now, so amazing. But do let I mean, give me your time within 3 months
Sure,
of
sure.
span.
That's like perfectly fine.
Uh, perfect. Let me just